Hi everybody and welcome to Optus Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks the Derby today. Basil Zampoulis in commentary for Lockie Reed. Can you believe it? He's gone down with COVID protocols of his own. Lockie, the captain of the commentary team, we're thinking of you and we'll try and do you justice today. Tommy Atkinson, Andrew Embley, Xavier Ellis. The Beast has just rocked in and the commentary box is shaking. And Britt Taylor down on the boundary. It's Derby 54. The tradition continues. West Coast, 32 of them, Freo 21. Just the 12 changes for West Coast this week. Much more stable at selection. 4 for Fremantle. And Jamie Graham coaches Fremantle today with Justin Longmuir out with COVID protocols. And an exclusive place in WA football history. He becomes the first man to coach both the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers. How about that? Good afternoon, gentlemen.
I've just seen 6 Fremantle players run off and change their undies after they saw it. Nelson, Witherden and Darling lead the West Coast Eagles out in a big derby.
Have you ever seen a derby week like this? Unbelievable. It's almost last man standing. I know West Coast Eagles get Nick Naitanui back. He'll be huge today. But, geez, when you have a look out there at the moment, and no disrespect, but there's a lot of players out there that you just don't recognise.
No, for both sides too, though. For both sides, of course, Tabernar returning. For Fremantle, it's going to help up front. Only 3 inside 50 marks last week for Freo. They won't beat any side in the competition if they don't have any more than that today. Just watching Nick Nat to Gaff out in the middle there, both those returning. There's a sprinkling of names to Kennedy also returning, obviously. But then don't forget, Tim Kelly out, not with the health and safety protocols. Luke Shuey, there's a long list of those that are missing as well on that end for West Coast. And Fremantle, you don't forget Mundy, Fife. Is Darcy?
Sarong,
did Darcy get up?
No Sarong.
No Darcy.
No Darcy.
So there you go.
Be interesting to see what West Coast do with Andy Brayshaw today. Now, from an outsider looking in, he's the obvious one. You send Jackson Nelson to Brayshaw because you think if Brayshaw doesn't have a big impact on this game, and as you mentioned, no Fife, no Mundy, no Sarong, they already struggled to get the ball inside forward 50 last week. Where's that drive going to come from? So we saw Tuke Miller, right, get a really big tag. No impact on the
17
game.
17 disposals.
Christian Petrarca, right,
Andy
got
McGrath.
a big tag. So maybe it's starting to come back, and you would think that West Coast, in their planning this week, I mean, Brayshaw, he's the obvious one, right?
Well, they've got...
Look at nobody else.
Probably on their list,
Well,
I would say five A graders. Luke Ryan playing.
Yeah.
Fife, Mundy, Darcy, Brayshaw.
The 4 of them are out.
Switskowski.
And you've got to get, elite Switskowski. But you've got to get after Brayshaw. We said it last week. I know St Kilda got the chocolates last week, but Fremantle were atrocious. So if they've got, and Brayshaw was outstanding, arguably best on ground, cut him off, and I reckon that the underbelly of the Fremantle Dockers, will they be able to stand up to the pressure and lift and carry the side like we've seen Brayshaw, Fife, Mundy do 1,000 times? I'm not sure, Saul.
And the pressure's that big one as well. We saw St Kilda put Fremantle under an enormous amount of pressure here last week, and Fremantle couldn't cope with that. So West Coast, with their depth and with the players out there at the moment, are they able to force Fremantle into that turnover? You would expect that Andrew Gaff, who normally plays on the wing, he'll spend more time on ball, Redden on ball as well. So that midfield battle will be crucial. Big job for Lloyd Meek, who's obviously preparing for big Nick Naitanui, who's back in the side. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Jack Darling really disappointing last week in his first game back, but you expect that he'll be better second time around. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on this one.
I need to get Nick on the scales. He is a giant out there today. And last week the shorts were no good.
Are you trying to say something? You think he's put
he's
more
bigger.
kgs on?
He's bigger.
Not,
his ass is...
Are you saying not gym kgs? You saying a little bit of push?
I'll put my hand up and say I was in Fat Club for a few years. The untold story is how many years he was in Fat Club as well, Nick. He joined me many a time.
It's not necessarily about his weight, but if you've got a pair of scissors at one end of his shorts and open them up, they'd be big enough to be the West Coast Eagles run-through banner.
Yeah, they're so big, those shorts. They are whoppers.
He's a big boy, isn't he? He's strong, he's powerful, and he's going to be very important for the West Coast Eagles this afternoon.
For Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. 25th player to debut in a derby today, Neil Erasmus.
Yep.
Expecting to play plenty of time in the midfield. Hale Boy played about 4 games for Colts, Subi last year. You'd be happy about the Hale Boy.
Oh, what the tradition of Hale School champions continues.
No, they breed them tough there.
Did he start straight in the middle?
Yeah, absolutely. First year player. As long as it's, first-year players, I don't care if they start on the ground, start off the ground. They just can't be subs. That's outrageous. I want to see him play, and I want to see him play a lot of minutes. He's a leader. He's a very, very wise young man. He's got a good head on his shoulders. No better occasion to play either than a derby and a West Coast home crowd, 45,000.
Can I ask what Jake Waterman's done to Adam Simpson? Is that a serious question?
He's the sub
question.
today.
He's the sub today. How is Jake Waterman not in West Coast Best 18 with all those out right now?
The only way you could work it out is if they think they're too tall up front. They have to play
him on a wing.
Well, they have to play Dixon today because as the second ruck. I'm not saying it's right, but that's the only way you could defend it.
He's not even going a goal a game in his career. He's going less than a goal a game, and you're speaking like...
Okay, so name 5 players you drop for him then from the Eagles side.
Naish?
Midfielder.
Foley?
He's a half-back.
Does it, mate? You find a way to put him in.
Mate, you're speaking like it's Dunstall. He averages less than our goal.
You're telling me that West will have more of an impact than Waterman out there.
It's a good conversation.
In the midfield, but they've got no midfield at all.
I think it's not about who comes out. It's about what's happened to Jake Waterman. He should have probably played in the 2018 grand
he was
final.
around the mark.
He debuted that year. They played Venables, obviously. They went that way for team balance in the end. He was actually pretty unlucky not to play 2018. The point is, he still has not been able to cement a regular spot in that team. And really, his future at West Coast must be on the balance now.
Has to be. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you're not playing consistently when there's 14 changes.
Not after that long.
Nah.
He's got another year left on his contract.
So
the end of next year.
Contract.
So I guess according to Simo, you got Langdon out there, you got Petrocelli out there, you got Jermaine Jones out there at the moment. So these players have gone past him.
Jermaine Jones was really good round one.
He was very good.
He was very good.
He played a bit on ball as well, though.
Yeah, but I don't know where you want Waterman to play.
I don't think he can play half forward or wing. I'd like to see him on a wing today.
So the big question for Freo today is who's going to kick their goals. I think they're 17th in points scored. Tabernar's back.
Yeah.
What do you make of Michael Walters? He's been...
Oh, listen.
Horribly out of form.
Yeah.
Michael Walters has been an outstanding player for so long.
I read at one stage he was a top 10 player in the comp.
You get to a stage in your career where you're on the way down, and when you're on the way down, there's always some other young player that's on their way up, and you meet somewhere. And at the moment, when you have a look at some of the small forwards in that forward line for the Fremantle Dockers, Swiskowski, you've got Schultz who's really stepped up. Banfield's a sub today. Frederick. So his spot in the side is no longer an absolute certainty, but he's been a wonderful player, and he's going to have to keep working really hard to maintain his position.
His form did drop off last year as well, but if you're Adam Simpson, right, and you look down to the defensive goal square and you see Sonny Walters in there, would you rather see Sonny Walters in there or Schultz or Swiskowski?
And that's the thing, he's still very dangerous.
He's still going to get attention.
And you still have to actually send a quality player to him because he's smart. He knows where the goals are.
Not a good sign, getting the hamstring loosened.
I saw Jamie Graham said it's not an audition for him, but is he on that next list of people
Has
who...
to be.
Yeah, I think he went through the process for Collingwood.
Highly rated, yeah. He's spoken to a number of clubs and very close. He was very close at Collingwood. They were extremely impressed. In fact, they asked him to come back for the second time. So he's. I know Fremantle have been really trying hard to get him, and I know that Fremantle actually were really keen for him to go and interview for the head coaching job with Justin Longmire. West Coast weren't keen on that at all. So that caused, I think, a bit of friction, and in the end he's found his way over to Fremantle.
And coaching's moving away from whiteboard magnets and X's and O's, which he can do.
Yeah.
But the type of person he is, he's an outstanding person, one of the better you've probably stumbled across during his journey.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free and instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Goodyear, Dunlop and the legendary all-rounder bobjane.com.au. Downstairs, Britt Taylor. Don't have Britt at the moment, so we'll go back to her in a second. They're just tossing the coin. Looks like the Eagles have won, Britt.
Looks that way. There we go. Microphone is now working. I'll tell you what, last week it was Spud Galati. This week, Brad Shepherd, retired Eagle, doing the toss. He was at Ascot yesterday, part of a ownership of a winning horse. He spent the time in the winner's room tossing the coin, doing practice, because he was nervous about how we'd go with the coin toss, but he's done a good job in being able to get a few rotations out of the 20-cent piece.
Is there a chance today Britty might have a sore head?
You would think so. House of Serenity won pretty impressively, and I dare say they would have celebrated hard.
Well, Jeremy McGovern won the toss, and West Coast will kick to the right of your radio. So as you look at your radio, they're going to the right-hand side of the radio. So, in the end, we didn't know who the favourites were for this match. There was no favourite because there were no teams until yesterday. But I think it's fair to say, given who West Coast have got back, Embers and Eggs, West Coast start favourites here.
Well, according to Tab Touch, certainly looks like West Coast are starting favourites in this game. To be honest with you, it's a flip of the coin for mine. Fremantle have had the better of West Coast in the pre-season games, but you're just looking at West Coast forward line at the moment and maybe a more solid midfield.
And Freo last week too. I can't help to keep thinking about how bad Fremantle were last week.
Jackson Nelson started in the middle of the ground, so
next to Brayshaw,
there's every chance that he will be following Brayshaw around all afternoon.
So here we go, Derby 54, umpire Jacob Mollibson alongside Jeff Dalgleish and Justin Power and Mollison. Nice bounce to get us started. Nat Nui, first hands on the footy. Over at top of it, Redden quickly out of the pack. That was well done by Will Brodie. Down inside 50. Early forward pressure from Fremantle. Collier over the footy. Tackled quickly, not going anywhere. Wrapped up. And the ball will come up. Nat Nui again with Meek. He got hands on it. Will Brodie again busy to start this game off. Secondary whistle. Nick Nat and Meek, third time. Nat Nui to himself this time. He went to Petrevski-Seaton and then followed up. That was brilliant. Ryan breaks away through the middle of the ground. The handball for space. Not perfect for Jones. Jones wrapped up in a good tackle. Got the ball over the line on West Coast at half forward. All thanks to Nick Nat Nui.
Nick Nat Nui, round one, I thought he was beaten by Wits. Had the week off against Meek. Should dominate this area of the ground.
So 60 seconds gone here in the first term in the Western Derby. Nick Nat again, another clearance out of the middle. High, up and under kick, doesn't go far. Jones, little spoil. Here's Foley at the bottom of the pack, lays a big tackle on Schultz. And the umpire's going to ping him. Didn't get much time, did Schultz.
Umpire saying that he dragged it in there, Schultz. So good start by West Coast early in this game.
So Foley with the free kick in the centre square, plays on quickly, goes long. Here's Kennedy, three-time Glendinning medalist, and coming across to take the mark.
They've got to be very careful, West Coast, because you just don't want to get Kennedy focused. That entry going long, and you saw what Fremantle did. They took numbers off, and they were able to take that intercept mark.
So back pocket Meek goes long down the line. The strong mark taken by Shannon Hearn. Hearn's going to roll and go deep, put it deep inside 50. Darling at the back, but coming across the front of the pack, taking a very nice mark is Alex Pearce.
You want to see Jack Darling find a way to get that ball to ground. There's two intercept marks that Fremantle have taken. West Coast got to find a way to make it a contest.
They're not a great kick by Hearn. Taberner back in this team. He's taken a good mark from the Pearce kick. Hugging the wing. High ball, McGovern. Now the ball loose, middle of the ground. Nelson, he's back in this side. They're going sideways, West Coast, but that's okay. It's going to get to Gaffer eventually. Cheers for Blake Acres, more a Bronx cheer. He got there a little bit late, but okay. And Brady Hoff's got the ball broadcast side on the wing right in front of Britt Taylor. Backwards to Witherden, now to Nelson. Short one to the middle of the ground, had to stretch, but got there okay. Redden, his kick is perfect. Now we're away, touched off the boot, not so good that time. And mopping up Fremantle. They're going to get out of this okay, and Acres on the end of it after an untidy little entry forward from West Coast.
Yeah, Foley just took too long then. He had Kennedy on, he had Darling on, just took too much time and was run down.
Nelson and Brayshaw running right next to each other, 30 centimetres apart. That is a heart attack, as you'll see.
Of course, we'll hear from McDonald's. Feed the whole team with the Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack today, available from 10:30 a.m. as the Dockers bring it out of defence. No, Driscoll's got it left half back. Fremantle
kicked a great goal line debut last week, O'Driscoll, after starting as the sub.
So no score, 3.5 gone in the first term. Big long kick, and Sonny Walters is going to get a free kick here. Near side wing, high against Witherden, plays on, goes to Acres. Acres quickly, his kick smothered though by Redden. Comes back to Acres, he can't handle it. Petrevski-Seton dives in, Acres grabs him. The umpire says, I'll throw it up.
Jack Redden started really well. His intent around the ball, his pressure's been excellent.
He plays well against Fremantle historically.
So Meek, Nat Nui, little deft touch to Redden.
Here's again.
Ball can't find his boot though, comes back to Redden by Nat Nui, to Gaff, to Foley, to Gaff. He goes by hand to Witherden, back to Gaff, right half back. Andrew Gaff back into the side this week. His kick to a 2-on-1. Darling, strong mark in front of Pearce. So Jack's second game back, of course.
That'll give his confidence a world. A good one-on-one contest in front of Pearce. Not easy. Took a really good contested mark.
So Darling at half forward. Comes across the ground, just over the top of lob. Marked by Shannon Hearn. Smack bang in the middle of the ground.
Just have to change the angle here with Lloyd Meek sitting in the hole. McGovern not going to go forward in any rush.
He doesn't. Now back to Hearn, who goes inside 50. Long kick, Ryan. Got up high and first to his feet, close to the boundary line, and helped over by James Aish. That was dangerous and exciting going forward for West Coast. So they've looked the dominant team so far. What's total possessions, Beast, to get us going?
26-12 on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Beast.
Oh, he's onto it, the Beast.
You know, you've got to find early touches in football. Upstairs in the commentary box as well. And the Beast is on today. That's what I can see. Will Brodie, speaking of which, he's been very good red. And the handball backwards. Is that Hoff that sends it forward? Off hands at the back. Langdon, tight in the pocket, short. The roar is for one man and one man only. Josh Kennedy, 15 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Alex Pearce just ended on his backside there. Kennedy just threw him to the ground or shrugged him away. Pearce could only get up and walk to man the mark. Easy play.
In game number 280, Josh Kennedy, 688, make it 689 career goals. And West Coast on the board first. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. West Coast 6, Freo yet to score. Supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Well, they've started well, the Eagles. They've been a lot harder around the contest, getting the game played in their forward half early, inside 50s, 5-1. And you can see that at the moment. Just a one-on-one contest in the goal square, and Kennedy was just way too strong for Pearce. He just shrugged him out the way. Pearce slipped over. It was an easy spot-up kick. West Coast got to keep doing that. Lower the eyes because Darling and Kennedy will present all day.
So West Coast get the first goal of the Western Derby. Almost 7 minutes gone here in the first term. As the umpire bounces it, it's gone crooked and we'll reset it and do it again.
Warning signs with Nick Nat in the ruck. Already 2 clearances and 4 disposals. If he can stay out there long enough today, this is going to be the most dominant position on the field.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy is Meek. Just here's X, and he takes it out of the middle. Left foot snap inside 50 to Walters, 1-on-1. Here's Collier, can't gather it. Neither can Schultz. Still at defensive 50 now for Freo. So for West Coast, and a couple of little handballs, and Brayshaw dives in. The umpire says, I'll throw it up at centre half back.
West Coast winning the clearances 4-2 on the Triple M Red Z stats too.
And Lloyd Meek's just shortened for the Ross Glendenning medal. as he's got a free kick here.
Oh,
too.
wow.
He's fighting back just after X. Give him a cook. Lloyd Meek.
He'll pick this from 60, I'll go on.
So big Lloyd Meek from 60 out straight in front, puts it to the hot spot, lob at the back, can't get to the fall of the footy. Foley gets it for West Coast. Goes to Gaff, by hand to Edwards. Goes to Witherden, and a big tackle laid strongly on Naish and goes across the line. We'll throw it in right forward pocket for
The old
Freo.
behind the back from Witherden.
Yeah, Witherden needs to keep it simple today. He's butchered the footy this year so far and made some silly errors. Just needs to keep it simple.
I think that's the X-Man saying, no behind the back stuff from you, young man. Take it easy. So thrown in the pocket. Freo with their first attacking chance. Nelson off the deck. Scoots out the back. Here's an opportunity for Schultz. Taken in a strong tackle. Akers, he's getting a bit of the footy, and that's good to Walters. So that's better from Fremantle, just working their way into the game, trying to find a little bit of composure. And Schultz, Akers, they get it to Michael Walters, who really needs a goal here for his own confidence.
1 goal this season already. He had a hand injury, wearing a glove today. A big kick for him today, Embers.
This will test him too. He'll be kicking right on 50. Let's see what's got left in these old legs of Michael Walters.
So it's a slight angle. He hasn't even got the distance, and then a very good knock through from about 1.5 metres off the line from Jeremy McGovern. Gee, that's Strange not to see him get the journey from there. The Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Freo 1 behind, West Coast 6 points.
Probably some sunny up at the moment,
Yes.
doesn't his age, landing it on the goal line
Just
there.
losing a bit of penetration in his old age, Sonny Walters.
So Witherden brings it out for West Coast. A big, long 60-metre kick. Dixon can't mark it. Aish goes and picks it up. Langdon's got him. Little hand pass back to Clark. Back to Akers. And here's Erasmus, the debutant.
Yes.
Little left foot kick. Well picked up by Aish. Almost turned it over. Erasmus goes and gets it again. He's tackled by Gaff, near side wing. Pumped out by Nelson. Back to Redden by hand to Gaff. To Kennedy, that was clever. Little tap on to Nelson. Another tap on to Jones. Back to Redden. Eagles going nowhere here with a lot of touches. Still on the near side wing. Gaff goes across the ground and finds Rothman at centre half back. He's dropped what he should have taken. An absolute sitter, has time though. Finds Edwards, comes short and finds McGovern at half back. He goes short by foot again and finds Gaff.
The Gaff is getting a heap of it. 7 disposals already.
No booze for Gaff today.
Save them for later in the year.
West Coast home game.
Jermaine Jones, it is not a good kick. Meek again. He's rising with this game, X-Man. Darcy Tucker, long ball down the line. McGovern in front, lob at the back. McGovern somehow works his way in front. Really good footy. Hoff, he got it away quickly. That was well done. Jones had it a long time. It's all right in the end, and it ends up back with Hoff. The clearing kick to the middle of the ground, and Langdon. What a fine mark that was on the wing.
They just look like they're running a bit harder at the moment, the West Coast Eagles.
Marked in front of Walker. It was a really good grab. Now round the body. The kick from Edwards, Luke Edwards, after he got it from Jermaine Jones. It was smothered off the boot and rolls over the line. Good mark by Langdon, because coming hard at him was Walker.
First term inside 50s now 5-3 in favour of West Coast. They haven't had one in a couple of minutes though, so let's watch that on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. The boundary umpire throws it in at half forward for West Coast.
My first time in the box with the Beast. I have been nothing but impressed in the first 10 minutes.
It's a credit to him.
I mean, some would crumble under the committee name, not you.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's a
the
bit
legacy lives on, Basil.
It might be getting better.
Here's Erasmus down the line, left foot comes to the back. And the Eagles just kick it forward. The mark's been taken by Darcy Tucker. Kick came from Harry Edwards back into the side. Tucker at half back for Fremantle.
Anyone heard from Lockie?
Not yet.
No.
I think he's watching Fox.
He'll be watching the basketball.
Listening to another station.
Erasmus down the line. McGovern can't mark. Flew high. Spakowski can't gather. Comes back to Hearn. Hearn by hand. The outer run here of Rotham just rolls in front of him and goes across the line. We'll throw it in. Left half forward here for Fremantle. The Eagles 1 straight 6. The Dockers 1 behind, gone 12 minutes in the first term.
Gaff already up to 9 disposals on the red lending stats too, and Lloyd Meek on the other side, 6 disposals, 3 clearances.
They had to get Nick off the ground. They had to get him off the ground.
He has to have an arrest right now, but he's doing all right.
Oh, he's lifted, certainly. Ball comes over the back of the pack, and Akers again. He got the ball quickly scooped up by Switkowski. Long ball down towards Taberner. Now he's got a couple to beat here, but he stayed in the contest. Oh, that's magnificent! Well done, Matty Taberner. He had no right to get his hands on that football. Beat 2 West Coast defenders and snapped brilliantly for Fremantle's opening goal. And the Dockers are in front by a point.
Yeah, well done there. It was a good clearance. So Brayshaw's gone off the ground. West Coast might have just sort of lost their structure a little bit at that last stoppage. A quick kick inside forward 50. Number 1 rule. Got to kick the ball in front. It got out the back. And Taberner, the big fella, he was cat-like. He was able to just turn his opponent inside out. And he did really well in that one-on-one contest against Harry Edwards and was too good. Kicks there first.
Beast, we did just mention Brayshaw there, mate. What's his numbers early?
He's a bit quieter compared to what he has been, mates, but he's coming off 34 last week. And I'm just trying to find him on the stat sheet.
Yeah, go right down the bottom.
Right down the bottom, exactly.
Yeah, that's why you can't see him.
That's it.
He's had donut so far.
Dixon's into the ruck. He's going to get a free kick.
Set me up there, eh?
What about the exact?
We just said,
I've had problems with my software.
we just said he went to the bench.
But you took Nick stats before, I noticed in your comment as well, mate.
Dixon goes long inside 50. Pierce can't mark. Darling grabs it at the back of the pack. Tapped on by Jones towards the square. And Clark's just happy to see it run through.
What sort of cheer will we get for Jack Darling's first goal, do you think?
He took a good mark before and got a fair chair, but that might have been the good mark, you reckon?
That point takes West Coast 117, the same as Fremantle on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Most certainly does, Tommy. Scores are level. We've got a whistle in the pack. I think it's coming back West Coast way. It might be McGovern who was blocked. He's just inside the centre square, maybe just outside now on the Toyota logo. He drives it to the pocket. We've got a whistle off the ball.
Yeah, block. Fremantle free kick. Liam Ryan tried to block Pearce to give Kennedy a run at it.
So Pearce is going to play on quickly, and his kick just got to where it was heading. Brennan Cox. And now short. Heath Chapman's got the footy.
Oh.
It's dangerous. Cox, the top of the defensive goal square. He controlled it okay, and Akers has had a really good start to this game. Flew high, took a good mark on Luke Edwards' back, fisting the ball away from Taverner. That was good defensive work then by Hugh Dixon. So, bit of a draw, really. A stalemate across the ground, and maybe Freo should have done better at one end, and perhaps West Coast could have done better at the other. It's a throw-in on half-forward for Fremantle.
So 15 minutes gone. Scores are level in the Western Derby. Free kick here is going to go the way of, I think, Dixon.
So Hugh Dixon, he's the one that will come in and give Nick Naitanui a chop out when Nick goes off. And just before, his ability to be able to get back as that ruckman and put that spool on was really good ruck craft.
Oh, a bit of candy shown too to Meek, and just runs around him, kicks long down the line. Here's Ryan 1-on-1, but coming across the back of the pack is Cox back into the side, taking a nice mark.
Just noting that Lloyd got stepped on the mark.
Negative towards the big fella in Lloyd Meek, because Cox goes to Chapman inside his defensive 50. Beautiful looking kick, but Naish over the top tries to intercept, but misread it. The mark's taken by Collier. He goes short. A free kick's going to go to Darcy Tucker here on the far side.
Didn't need to do it. He was a sitting duck. Rotham just ran straight into his back.
So Darcy Tucker, far side of the ground on the wing. Goes short by foot and finds Trav Collier. He's got this pace here of Frederick leading up to the footy, but a good spoil by Hearn. Frederick gets it back though, tackle by Hearn. Holding the ball, and the Eagles want to go quickly, and they do. In fact, advantage won't be paid. It's going to come back.
Looks like it might have gone out of bounds in the end when West Coast tried to take that advantage. So that's a let-off there for Fremantle.
Just looking on the Harvey Norman replay, that's exactly what happened, Embers.
Harvey Norman, needing your laptop or mobile shop. Harvey Norman, we have all the big brands. As the boundary thrown on the far side is Dixon and Meek, and Dixon wins it to the front of the pack. At the bottom there, just shoveling it out as Fremantle comes to Schultz by hand. It's Mikowski, bit of speed, just runs away from Foley, puts it into the pocket to Taverner. Big Tabs has marked it. About 15 out, hard up against the boundary line, and he'll go back and try and kick his second.
I love that from Smithkowski though.
Yep.
Young kid, speed, taking the game on. He knew he had jets, and the kick at full speed to be able to find Taverner was outstanding.
So Tabs from the pocket, runs around, left foot snap and misses to the near side. Blockers go to 1-2-8. West Coast 1-1-7 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Hard to snap from so far out there, Taverner. Really needs to hit sort of the belly of it to get the distance. Went really skinny on that one. Shannon Hearn, he's been kicking longer this year, I've noticed already. Last year he's been a bit chippity. This year he's gone longer.
Deliberate ploy, do you think, X?
I think so. Let's bomb that one out.
He has gone very long there. Meek and Naitanui. It gets over the back.
Oh.
That's a bad miss by Brandon Walker. Ends up with Naitanui, who broke the tackle of Ryan. Still the ball comes forward. Walker knew his mistake, went back hard, got the ball, and then a free kick. It's coming Fremantle's way, and they're going to play on quickly. Clark goes through the middle, the speedster. Frederick, brilliant gather. 35 out, directly in front. Freo have got their second. And they're out by 7 points.
Good game of footy here, and just saw then what Fremantle want to do from half back. That's the reason why Jordan Clark is in this side, for speed, to be able to run and gun, and their forwards were high, and that allowed Frederick to get out the back. Lots of space. Good finish too by the young fella.
Freo, Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. 2-2-14, West Coast 1-1-7.
Just another silly free kick too, amongst the congestion. West Coast just sat on the Fremantle players' back. Clark took advantage and off they go like a cannon through the middle. Dangerous.
Starting to win the clearance now too for 8-5 in favour of them. It was 5-1 West Coast at the start of this term.
Yes,
the Red Dead lending stats.
The Dockers by 7 points. We've got 19 in the first term. Nick Nat, beautiful tap over the top. Just jumped all over Meek. Gets back, gets his own clearance to Jones. Bit of speed from Jones. Runs away from Lloyd. Just spearing pass inside 50. Dixon can't mark. It's going to get picked up here by Jordan Clark in defence for Freo. Little handball off to Aish. Aish goes long. 3-on-1 here for the Eagles. But the mark's almost been taken by Collier. Redden can't pick it up. Ryan goes and does that. Little shimmy. Just tries to get past Collier, but Collier's got him. The umpire says that's holding the ball.
Just the last 5 minutes, Fremantle, their pressure stepped up and now 50. So it's starting to get a bit harder around the contest. Beast mentioned that the clearances are starting to even up now after West Coast started well in that area, but their hunt and their ability to be able to start winning some footy has got them on top right now.
So Ryan just tried to do too much, then gave away 50 and doesn't get back to the mark. The booming kick's gone long. At the back of the pack is Edwards. He can't mark it and takes it across the line.
Silly, undisciplined again. I've mentioned it now 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Silly free kicks, silly 50-metre penalties are just giving Fremantle inside 50s.
So Meek and Nat Nui now to do the ruck work. Another whistle, you heard it from the umpire. Meek has given away the free kick.
I would have gone home if that was Meek's free kick. that would have been me going home.
You reckon Nick's not giving away free kicks in his defensive 50
geez.
on Lloyd Meek? No.
To tell you, it's a very bright. This is Nat Nui's 7th disposal.
No, he's playing well. He is playing well.
I mean, he averages what, about 10 or 12 a game now?
And he's only been on the ground for about 6 minutes.
He's got a big opportunity today. No disrespect to Lloyd Meek, but this is an opportunity for Nick Nat to really dominate this.
Love to see him win a Glendenning Allen medal. It'd be something, wouldn't it? Switkowski now. Brayshaw's kick just offline, and he hasn't found the tempo of this game. That's his first disposal for a behind.
Just trying to see if he's pushed inside forward 50 now, Brayshaw, just to try to see what Nelson does. Nelson's obviously a defender. We'll go all the way with him, but he might have to start just trying a few things at the moment.
Embers and Dave, Seabus Super Special Comments, delivery consistent, long-term returns for members. Seabus for all of us as Hearn found Naish, and Naish goes long. Darling can't mark. Plenty of players just go there, and Jones picks it up. Here's Darling, little 1-2 off his boot. Just kicked it to himself. Has nowhere to go. Just did a 360 to Darling. Handball it to nobody. Petreski-Seaton goes and picks it up. He goes by hand to Redden. Far side of the ground on the wing. Eagles just stuffing around with the footy. Goes back to Jones. He's going to pump it long. Tries to get towards Kennedy. Will shove Pearce in the back. And Alex Pearce will get the free kick at inside his defensive 50.
That ball should have gone. You said nowhere to go for Darling. Just go inside 50 1-on-1. The skill level's not there for West Coast at the moment.
So Pearce tries to get around Kennedy. He's got him. He's caught. Got a handball away though. Umpire says play on. In comes O'Driscoll. Kennedy's got him as well. Petreski-Seaton dives in. Pearce tries to make amends. And in fact, it's going to be taken across the boundary line. Left forward pocket for West Coast.
He is very lucky not to be called for holding the ball. If not for the first one, maybe the second one when he just sat on top of the footy.
It needs to implement the KISS strategy, I think. Keep it simple. I don't think he's got that in his game. Just a good defender, get it outside of your defensive 50.
So it's going to be thrown in inside 50 now for West Coast. Meek. He won that hit out down. The ball's going to get out the back. Langdon, I think it is, bottom of the pack. He was about to gather and have a shot. The ball just bobbled away from him ever so slightly, and he didn't get to run onto it in the end. Brennan Cox on top of him, and it'll be balled up about 20 metres out from West Coast goal. Quick throw up, Meek again. Got his hands on it, Langdon lurking. Back of the pack, James Aish, clearing kick towards the wing. Shannon Hearn, good mark, bobbled around. Now let's see how long he sends it this time. Long, really long. Darling with a big fly. We've got a whistle. And it is going to be a free kick to West Coast. Hugh Dixon.
That's disappointing, that. Hugh Dixon in that marking contest.
Because Lloyd was going to swallow it, wasn't he?
He was never really in position to mark that footy. Brennan Cox, just having a look at Triple M, Harvey Norman replay at the moment, just didn't really need to put his hands around him. Lloyd Meek was always in a good position to take that intercept mark, so that's disappointing for Fremantle because they've had a good 8 or 9 minutes in this game.
Third game of his career, young man from East Fremantle. Spent time in Tassie, of course. For the second goal of his career, it's a behind only. 15 Freo, 8 now West Coast. Britt Taylor on the boundary.
Yes, Baz, 75% crowd capacity, and they have come in droves today for this derby. I know we've spoken about the derby's not having as much heat anymore, but I'll tell you what, the crowds are certainly enjoying being back at the footy.
So Freo have moved the ball quickly along the line, ends up with Collier. He goes short to lob at half forward.
Lob coming up for his first disposal of the game.
So lob being marked by Harry Edwards. Lob goes into the pocket. Going back with the flight is McGovern. He can't mark it. Just tapped through by Witherden. Finds Edwards. Edwards goes and tries to get the footy again in the forward pocket here for the Dockers. The umpire says, I'll have it and I'll throw it up. So Freo 2-3-15. West Coast 1-2-8. Almost 25 gone in the first term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Nick Nat tries to take it out of the ruck. Just palmed it down though to Gaff. Walters at the bottom of the pack. Handball to Brayshaw. Here's O'Driscoll for his second goal in footy. He's missed it to the right-hand side. Dockers go to 2-4-16. West Coast 1-2-8. 25 gone here in the first term. The Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Beautiful hands then by Brayshaw. Unlucky not to be finished off with a goal for Freo. Witherden's got the footy in the back pocket. He got it from Hearn. Drives it now in the Darling direction. Fisted away from behind. It came to Nat Nui. Gave it to Gaff. High ball towards the interchange gates. Tracking it back. Petrocelli. Difficult one. He's got 3 to beat. Cox got the ball down the line. O'Driscoll carried over the line. Tough tackle by Darling. Hasn't kicked a goal, but I think we got a taste of what the crowd are thinking. They were right behind him there.
That was a very good tackle. He just stalked his prey, O'Driscoll there. Laid a good tackle, and West Coast supporters behind the bench there certainly appreciated that.
So thrown in right on the wing. Nat Nui up in front. That was brilliantly done. Gee, that was a good hit out. Perfect for Foley, who gave the ball off to Luke Edwards, who goes to Darling. Good footy, West Coast. Really smooth passage of play.
Darling certainly presented well in this game. He's been strong. Another one-on-one contest there that he was too good for.
Too long. Fremantle are setting up defensively really well. Hard to find one now.
So Big Jack goes short to the pocket. He was looking for Kennedy. And in the end, it wasn't the right option, as you heard from X-Man. He took too long and too wide out there anyway.
Yeah, one-on-one. Kennedy and Pearce, just kick it to the one-on-one. We saw Kennedy dismantle Pearce early in the game. Just give him another opportunity.
Choice Hotels around the grounds need a break. Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. Carlton by points and Kilda by 33. As Freo take it out of the boundary, throw in lob. Joe jumps up with both hands, can't take the mark. Here's Walters at the bottom of the pack doing some dirty stuff. Comes back to Gaff. He kicks it inside 50. Darling can't mark. He's going to get a free kick though. So Jack, who's right on the 50, go against Luke Ryan for over the shoulder, I think, and Darling might be able to kick the journey from 55.
What do we think, Embers?
No, he'd be just too far out, I reckon, Jack Darling.
Where's Liam Ryan in occasions like this? It might land short.
He's looking for McGovern, I reckon, to come around for a handball here.
I reckon Gov's kicked one in his life doing it, and had about 30 goes at it. He loves it.
He'll never stop trying.
He loves swooping from behind.
Defenders love kicking goals.
So West Coast trail by 8 points. Almost a quarter time here in the first term. Jack Darling from just outside 55. Just makes the most of the journey. He's kicked it. It's going to fall a fraction short and be tapped across the line. In fact, it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Kennedy just threw.
Your
his
man.
defender, Lloyd. Mate, Lloyd's
Lloyd.
been dominant. How many touches has Lloyd had, Beast?
Coming up to number 8.
He's been best on ground.
4 clearances, 4 hitouts, 2 inside 50s, if you don't mind.
I'm sure Britt's keeping a close eye on Lloyd Meek for Bob Jane T-Marts. Buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Goodyear, Dunlop, and the legendary all-rounder, bobjane.com.au. As Darling's got it again, little spearing pass, inside 50, tries to find Petrocelli. He picks it up by hand, goes to Nelson, and he's kicked it out of bounds in the full.
All of that a bit untidy. Actually started with Luke Ryan, the man on the mark for the long kick from Darling. Didn't even jump.
Nah.
Just put his hand up. They're not good sign.
No, they just look, it's interesting.
The game hasn't reached any heights just yet.
Not yet.
But Clark in the back pocket for Fremantle. Drives it long again. McGovern, like a basketballer up that time, just palming the ball over the boundary line. Nothing deliberate about it, although it probably was deliberate. And they get to set up again, West Coast.
Just been a lot more efficient when they've gone inside 450, Fremantle, at this stage.
Nick Nat Wanted clean possession again. Came out the back to Akers instead. Towards half forward. Now McGovern's given away a free kick. Tabin is free and he could get 50 here.
50.
Gee.
Oh, that was a bit silly. Big taps. Oh, no. He should have had 50 and then he's punched with it in the head.
So he's whacked with it and over.
That's just a brain fade from Taberner.
Not smart. Not smart. About to send them to about 15 metres out from goal, and instead, Hearn's given the ball back to Witherden on half back, and on the siren, almost summed up that first term, didn't it? Moments of brilliance, but overall pretty flat. So quarter time, Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard, 302-416, West Coast 128. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack today. Available from 10:30 a.m.
It's no secret. At Triple M, we love the 80s. The music, the hair, the spandex, the sound effects. It's about time we did another one. Vote now for your favourite 80s. triplem.com.au. Then tune in as we count them down. Triple M's Flock of 80s 402 Countdown. Starts 9 a.m. Friday.
When my kids' plus ones bring their plus ones, we're going to need more McNugs delivered. Welcome to my world.
Get tonight's dinner delivered with the 40 Chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. McDelivery available at select locations.
Hi, Luke Dallas here. If your goal is to work in the building and construction industry, then follow my footsteps to study at TIV. Specialising in building and construction since 2007, TIV's training and student support will be with you every step of the way. Follow TIV's pathway in becoming a registered builder, estimator or site manager in face-to-face or virtual classes. Apply online, learn now and build your future faster with TIV.
Enrol now at tiv.vic.edu.au. Government funding available for eligible applicants. RTO 21920.
Man, what a game last night. Did you see?
Sorry, mate. Can't hear you.
With KO Sports On Demand, there's no spoilers, so you'll never miss a moment of the team you love.
Harvey Norman, the experts in work and study. Acer Aspire 3 laptop makes a great student device. Now $448, save $100. The compact Lenovo IdeaPad laptop, now $798, save $130. Sleek HP 15S laptop is a portable powerhouse with great battery life, $1,098. Or stay at the top of your game with the versatile HP Pavilion X360, $1,498. We've got your tech covered now at Harvey Norman.
Hurry into IGA today for great late week specials on Family Chef Deli Pork Leg Roast, only $19.99 per kilo. And 4 and 20 meat pies, 4-pack selected varieties, just $4.50 each. Offer in Sunday, April 3 while stocks last. Excludes IGA Express and local grocer.
This is the sound of Julian's bargain price vacuum with deep express suction. This is the sound of Julian trying to fix his bargain price vacuum, which infuriates him deeply. Yes, this is the sound of bargain regret. When it comes to the important stuff, like insurance, don't risk it. Go to Amy instead, who offers great value cover you won't regret. Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by AAI Limited Trading as Amy, read the PDS at amy.com.au. TMD also available.
Stop hunting value, because this Switch Week, the Kogan Money credit card is bringing value to you. No annual fee, tantalising rewards. Plus, if you apply before April 10 and meet the spend requirements, you could earn $500 in credit to spend on Kogan.com. Make the switch this Switch Week to a better great value credit card at koganmoney.com.au. Offer ends April 10. T's and C's, credit criteria, other fees and charges apply. Product issue and credit provider Citigroup Proprietary Limited.
Deciding to rent out our first home we enjoyed so many memories in meant we had very high expectations on how it should be managed. Luckily, so did our agent at O'Brien.
Real life, real stories, real estate agents. O'BrienRealEstate.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Optus Stadium, Western Derby number 54 on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, the final game of round 3 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, and it's Fremantle 2-4-16, West Coast 1-2-8. The Dockers had the better of the first term. Xavier Ellis and Andrew Wembley.
Thought West Coast started well. Nick Natanui getting his hands on the footy, given their midfielders first use. They dominated possession, the Eagles. They dominated clearances. They were able to get the ball inside forward 50, but probably just didn't use it that well. They blazed away a few times, allowed Fremantle to be able to take a few intercept marks. But there's no doubt Fremantle, what they want to do is when they get it, especially across half-back and through the middle of the ground, if they get a chance, they'll use that speed. Clark, Switkowski, and they probably in the end just made the most of their opportunities inside forward 50. Tabernar presented really well. So the Eagles' pressure certainly was very good early, probably dropped off a little bit late, which allowed Fremantle back in the first quarter.
Yeah, I just think West Coast, they need to find fifth gear a lot quicker, giving time for Fremantle to drop back and make it much harder. 2v1s in the air, nearly 90% of the time going forward, move the ball quicker. Fremantle, I thought they hung on, and when they had opportunities to go quickly, they scored. So matter of trying to get that turnover like they have a couple of times and then fingering the ball forward as fast as you can. Because Tabernar, we know, is a very good footballer, and Tom Barras isn't down there.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a makeshift defence, and Tabernar could be the man that grabs this game by the scruff of the neck. I must say, I'm going to tip my hat to a man called Lloyd Meek. Dominant in the first quarter, 8 disposals, 4 clearances. He has proven me not wrong just yet.
Mind
but
you,
Nick
in saying that, Nick was very good too.
Yeah.
Nick had 8 disposals in the first quarter himself. A really good matchup between two big fellas.
So the Dockers by 8 points. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. And the umpire's going to throw it up again. Beastie Andy Brayshaw on the first term on the Red Zeds.
I'm ready this time, Tommy. I'm ready. Brayshaw, 2 touches, 1 behind. So very quiet, coming off a career best 40 last week on the Red Zed lending stats.
Getting plenty of attention, the midfielders. That's just come a falcon, I think, almost off Nelson's head. The soccer kick comes out with Walters. Here's Frederick from just outside 50. Kicks inside. Lob cut market. Schultz there as well. Picked up by Spikowski. Big tackle laid by Petreski Seaton. And the umpire says, let's throw it up just inside the forward 50 here.
Just one for Hoff then. He's on Michael Frederick. He decides to fall back and Frederick goes at the footy. As a defender, you've got to be right up on your man.
The umpire throws it up, shoveled out here towards Aish, just picks it up. On his hammer is Langdon. Langdon lays a big tackle. Gaff picks it up, and Spikowski and Walters just get here and push it across the line, far side of the ground, half forward here for the Fremantle Dockers.
So this is what's watching Brayshaw at these stoppages. He has to make it a 2-on-1. He has to go now because Nelson's going really close to him. Go to a Gaff, go to a Redden, and see if he can break this tag at these stoppages.
So Natanui and Meek it is. Natanui wins this hit out. Free kick though, bottom of the pack. Heard the whistle. It's James Aish. Gets to his feet slowly and pumps the ball to about 15 metres out from goal. McGovern, mark is clean. Terrific defensive mark. He's built a career on actions just like that, as has this man, Andrew Gaff. Disposal number 12 running hard in the back pocket.
Another one next right now is if I'm Brayshaw, I'm going to Andrew Gaff and I'm going to tag Gaff. Okay, yeah. Gaff's going to take you to the football. It's going to release the tag. It's going to ask West Coast what they do. Suddenly Brayshaw starts to get in the game as well because at the moment Gaff, he's up to 12 disposals.
Witherden drives the ball towards the wing. Again, Gaff had it through his hands and very quickly the ball snapped forward. There was nothing clean about that. And West Coast to repel off half-back.
Yeah, Witherden got that man again, Gaff, on the far side.
Go.
Out the back, could have gone like X said, but just slowed things up and comes back to Foley. Foley by foot to almost a turnover. Picked up by Edwards. Gets a kick away though, tackled by Walters. He goes back to Witherden, little spearing, kicks forward in front of the Dockers. It's going to be a free kick.
The game plan's not working. They haven't got the skill and ability, so just get some speed into the game. Kick, kick, kick. They don't have those players that can hit the targets. It's just going to be a boring turnover game if they keep playing this way.
So Andrew Gaff was very lucky there to get the free kick against Aish. Eagles were in trouble. Goes back to Witherden. Off path back, long down the line. It's a 2-on-1 though, and your man, Lloyd Meek, takes a very nice mark. Just hand passes off, but a run comes from defence. Mark's been taken by Will Brodie at centre-half back. Dockers lead by 8 points. Almost 3 minutes gone in the second term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So sends a long one in the Meek direction. And Meek was pushed under the footy, bit of tunnelling.
Big fella, Meeky.
He's $1.10 for the medal.
He's about to hit double digits, X. 10 disposals now.
His
6
career
hit-outs,
career
4
highs
clearances.
in your repertoire, Beast.
No, mate, I can't do that. What are you talking about?
We can get there.
I just gave a career high.
We can get it all checked out for you. Hearn, gee, that was a bit dangerous. Handball had a bit too much on it. Losing control of the footy was Naish. Hearn goes back. Gang tackled. Might be holding the ball. This, no. Umpire said no. Pryor and Shannon Hearn feeling every bit of his 304 AFL games right at the moment.
Well, when he handballs the ball to someone, doesn't expect his teammate to drop it. Poor old Hearn had to go and butter up again and save the day.
Lobbing Nat Nui now. Chance here for Fremantle. Close Schultz. Whistle. West Coast relieves the pressure. They're free.
Gee, defensively, Fremantle setting up so well. Straight away they look up. Fremantle have got a spare just sitting back here now. This is going to get thumped out of bounds probably.
So Hoff got the free kick, comes long down the line. Darling, he can't mark, falls into the hand of Akers. He goes to Erasmus, finding a bit of the footy, the debutant. His short kick, though, has been marked by Jack Redden in defence.
Gee, their defence is good. Well done, Fremantle.
So Redden told to play on. His left foot kicks found Petruccelli at half back. Petruccelli half back for West Coast. They trail by 8 points, 4.5 gone in the second term. Just pops it up again, long down the line to Ryan. Over the top, can't mark. It falls at the front. Jones tries to pick it up, diving in as Erasmus. Connor West goes back in. Barely seen him out there today. Comes to Ace, just slaps it on the boot. Goes inside 50. Kennedy's got 2 to beat. Just here's Pierce. Just goes towards the line. Darling's kept it in, slapped it in fact. A little hand pass off to Ryan. They're called to play on after the free kick advantage paid. And no advantage taken for West Coast. In fact, it's going to be Fremantle out of defence through Aish, who's going to go short.
Look at Frederick go.
He's got jets, hasn't he,
Gee,
Frederick?
Ridiculous.
Poor old Andrew Gaff just can't go with him.
Tabernar over the top to Aish. Frederick lays the shepherd. Far side of the wing. Aish looks to have a bounce. Instead goes long. Here's Big Lloyd at the back. Can't mark.
Dixon did well. That's the second time he's been able to push back. The former Fremantle docker, Hugh Dixon, and put a good spoil on Lloyd Meek, who wanted to push forward and take Dixon forward. So that's a good effort by a young fella.
We scoured the dark web too, actually. We found 13 as the career high of Lloyd Meek.
Geez, up to 10. Wow.
Beastie back in top form. Switkowski handballed it out quickly. Got left behind in the end by Erasmus. Comes backwards now. Gaff just got it from Rotham. Just in time. Kick. Not a bad one. Looking for Darling. Fisted away well by Cox. And they fight a bit of a draw here. Fremantle 16, West Coast 8. Have we scored since quarter time?
Nothing.
We have not, and we've got only 15-19 on the clock. We've played 6 minutes and 12 seconds and no score. Beautiful conditions for football. All of that a bit unlikely and a bit unusual. Ball socket forward for Fremantle. Now Walters around the body, not coming back enough. And Sonny, all of the things that Sonny was doing cleanly and perfectly a couple of years ago, they're just gone.
So he's just lost that yard of speed and that explosiveness that he once had. He was able to get the footy and just, get out of packs.
You would have put that in the book, wouldn't you? On his left, just on a bit of an angle.
Now the space just closes down a bit more quicker on him now.
Seabus Super Special Comments delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for all of us is West Coast just making it out a half back, and it's gone out of bounds on the far side of the wing.
Second term inside 50 is now 7-2 in favour of Freo. So they've started quick, getting plenty of entries. And I think Sonny just wanted to put that out for you, Baz, when you were talking about the streak staying alive of no scores on the Reds at Lending Stats.
Okay, right.
It's looking after you.
Boundary throw in far side. Gaff just sharks it out of Dixon, and Erasmus has him. The umpire says, I'll do it again.
So Brayshaw still on the 2 disposals. Nelson's going to be shadow all day. He's just got to work his way through this, Brayshaw. Whether it's going to Redden or Gaff, I think he just needs to try something right now.
So the ball's now just come out. Erasmus at the bottom of the pack. Big Lloyd just hands and knees, tries to shovel it towards Aish. Langdon picks it up. His handball goes nowhere. Dixon picks it up and drops it. West gets it. The workman-like work there from West. Just shoves it on the boot, goes to half forward here. Chapman gets it by hand for Fremantle. Hand pass over the top. Going to be intercepted though. Here's Ryan, 40 out. Little spearing kick from Ryan. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Same result. Small forward, same result.
How come the showdowns are always brilliant and the derbies are always just a little bit off the boil?
This game could get very exciting, Baz.
Oh, I doubt it.
Probably just keen for a score at some stage during the second quarter. Ball in the middle now. Schultz went hard at it. Brayshaw crashing through. Nicely done. Out in front of Switkowski. Got away from Witherden. This is really good. Taberner, the little pop kick. It's perfect. And the mark's been taken inside 50 by Rory Lobb. He's only about 30 metres out, maybe even less. Should be a goal.
Just got the overlap there, didn't they, Fremantle? And West Coast, they tried to press up, but as you know, when you do that, you don't impact the contest. You get caught out, and Lobb, who hasn't started the game very well, just found himself inside forward 50. Got to go back and kick this now.
One disposal, hasn't hit the scoreboard, and gee, that's a terrible kick. Bree's got a hold of it, swung away to the right. Hardest kick to do that.
You can't credit the Breeze. That's a mark.
He just completely lost in the ball drop then. Got it too high. The ball did everything by the time he hit the boot and sailed right.
Hey, boys, at least we got a score now. Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Come on.
2-5-17 Fremantle. West Coast 1-2-8. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So the Eagles just getting some fantasy points in the back pocket, just kicking it for themselves. McGovern's now got to the half back. He comes,
there you go.
Takes a risky kicking board to West. Here comes some pace from the Eagles. Gaff tries to run away on the far side. Here's Petrocelli. He's got plenty of wheels. He bounces in front of him. He picks it up. Just tries to beat off his opponent. Goes inside 50. Darling at the back. Has to spoil. Falls to the front. And Clark gets it for Freo. And the Dockers through Chapman will get away inboard and finds Tucker. Tucker tucks it under his arm. He's going to go. They've got a man on here. Freo Taberner's got it. All by himself inside 50 is Lockie Schultz. The ball's going to get to him, and Schultz has marked it. Left forward pocket for the Dockers. In fact, he plays on, comes across the ground, and finds Frederick.
But even that kick to Lockie Schultz, he was in the goal square, and he ended up marking it 20 metres on the boundary line.
Yeah.
And then they have to turn around and try and square it off to Frederick, who he's had a good start to the year. He's a classy player. He should kick this. When they move it quickly, West Coast simply can't keep up.
So Frederick, about 25 metres out, slide angle. The Dockers 2-5 haven't had their kicking boots on. And Frederick leans back, and that's much better. Straight through the middle. Frederick's got two. The Dockers have their third. 3-5-23. West Coast 1-2-8. We've gone 11 minutes here in the second term. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
So one of the issues West Coast have had in this particular second quarter is that they haven't been able to get a contest inside their forward 50, and they've been outnumbered across half back. And that's allowed Fremantle to win the footy, and their slingshot has been really quick. They've gone and they've exposed West Coast through leg speed, the way they've used the footy through the middle off the ground, and the Eagles defenders are getting caught because they're not quite sure to whether stay on their forward or press up. They've pressed up, they haven't been able to impact, and that's what's allowed the overlap.
Kareem Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, biggest lead of the game now, Fremantle's way. They're out by 15 points. It's not been a brilliant game of footy, but it's tight. There's a lot at stake for these two teams. Nat Nui did everything but get his kick away and still kept going. Well done, Big Nick Nat. Coming back the other way, Aish, Tucker, Brayshaw. Here they go, Fremantle. Schultz keeps it low on the lead. Lobb just swung away from him late. Now the race is on. Hoff's going to get there first. Walters kept it alive. Back for Hearn. Hearn paddling. Walters got in and under.
Nah, took the knees.
Wow.
West Coast free.
I wonder if he... Yep, okay, fair enough. He did slide in.
I don't like that rule because Sonny simply went harder than Hearn then, but letter of the law, it's a free kick. But
you want players to go in hard, but you
hard.
want them to go in keeping their feet, though.
No, that's true. It almost didn't feel as though that exact example was what the rule was brought in for. Be that as it may, Meek, Brayshaw, Long, Schultz at the back, should have had it slipped over, and now trouble for McGovern. Kicked away quickly. Edwards doesn't get very far. West Coast under pressure. Clearing kick. High ball from Hoff.
Over the back is Meek with a big punch away from Nat Nui. The Dockers going to reload though, and they found Frederick 50 out.
Starting to find a bit of space, Frederick.
Frederick's got Collier on. He's 35, about 40 out straight in front.
Gaps are starting to open up at the moment for Fremantle, and they're exposing West Coast. They're starting to win a lot of the football, and West Coast is sitting back, almost just hoping to win the footy back. But if you drop the pressure off and you're putting no pressure on ball carrier whatsoever, regardless of who's out there, you're going to find targets, and that's what Fremantle are doing right now.
Here's Collier, the Dockers for 2 goals in 2 minutes, and Collier's got it, and he's happy about it too. The Dockers get their 4th. They go to 4-5-29. West Coast 1-2-8. We've gone 13.5 minutes in the second term. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
There's the blueprint, isn't it, Embers, for Fremantle? West Coast can't keep up. They move it quickly. Speed will kill today, and they got the opportunity now to get out in space. West Coast, when they get the footy, there's absolutely no stress as a Fremantle player. You know they're going to kick it short, and you know they're going to get a mark and go chip, 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 turnover because of the skill level. So there's absolutely no stress at the moment for Fremantle in the coach's box. They just keep doing what they're doing. The margin's only 21 points, but it feels like West Coast can't score.
Yeah.
Freo dominating entries too, 12-4 in this second term. So they're just getting it on their terms on the Reds Atlantic stats.
I'm starting to think about the party pies at lunchtime.
Lead out to 21 points for our Victorian friends. WA lead Victoria by 393 runs with 4 wickets remaining. 6 for 313 in the second dig. Good luck, Vicks. You can't get us now. No chance. Long ball out of the middle. West Coast, they need to get something going. Pearce wins a free kick. Kennedy was running with the flight of the ball and didn't have his eyes on the footy. Big JK, he's a little shaky today. Only 2 disposals. He's kicked a goal.
He kicked that goal early when Pearce fell.
When I say shaky, just hasn't been able to get into the footy. There's been no delivery.
No speed on the ball, no ball movement.
So Clark got all of this started. Now the clearing kick out of the pocket and ends up on the chest of Blake Acres. Better today from Acres.
Yeah, he's done well. He found a bit of the footy.
Here's Neil Erasmus for the first game up. He's found the pace quickly. Disposal number 7, captain of the Hale School first 18 last year, playing for Fremantle in round 3, making his AFL debut.
It's certainly a big jump, but he has not looked out of place whatsoever. He's going to be around for a long time, been in some good form playing for Peel this year. Deserves his opportunity, and he's a good kid.
X has been spending a lot of time around the Hale School playing.
Yeah, he's just trying to get a discount to get his boys in, I think, Baz.
I'm happy to mow the lawns. I'm happy to do anything there.
School fees aren't cheap these days, I hear you.
So Hearns marked the ball in defence here for West Coast. Of course, Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Embers, of course, working on his own contra arrangement with Trinity.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, if they're listening, I'll be in touch during the week, Trinity College.
Coaching there last year. It's come inside 50 towards Schultz. He can't mark. Rothman got a hand to it in front. Edwards picks it up. He's tackled. A big tackle laid. And the umpire's going to say holding the ball. I think it's Frederick again.
Yeah, it is Frederick again.
He's had a good quarter, Frederick. Young
speed.
Spent a bit of time on him, just letting him go a little bit at the moment, but that's what you want your forward to do. Good pressure. And Harry Edwards, he looked up. He thought he had a little bit of a time, but this is AFL footy and the pressure comes pretty quickly. And certainly this young fella, Michael Frederick, who's already kicked a couple of goals in this game.
Going drop punt too. Interesting. Not many would go jump up for here. Long run up.
It's on the Dennis Lilly run up, isn't he?
And drop punt. I don't know about it.
So the blue boots for Frederick in the pocket. This will be his third. Just leans back and he's straight it to the right.
Would have been easier if he just took 3 steps back, ran around the corner and dinked it through from that far out.
Well, the players just made an art of it now, haven't they? It's almost a kick that you'll kick 99 times out of 100. So he obviously
I love the drop
both.
punt. I love the drop punt, but it just looked like an obvious one.
Short to the pocket. So that Shield final, just quickly updating. Sam Whiteman out for 123. The mainstay of the second innings for WA. Ball's gone loose, lucky to get a free kick, carried forward. The West Coast player at the bottom of that pack by Travis Collier.
Again, lucky West Coast. Still, 25-metre kick. Doesn't hit the targets.
They haven't got the skill level to hit those little targets, so you may as well take it on through the corridor and butcher it.
And that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. They are butchering it.
Aaron Hardy, 119 not out and still there. Ball over the wing. Langdon coming hard. Ryan. Well, he did everything but dispose of the football, and well done Brandon Walker in the end. A very good tackle.
I just received a text message saying coaching's involved in the game heavily when your team has not had one bounce of the football in a half of football on a perfect day. Big ground, not one bounce.
Will Brodie gets the ball back to that tough tackler who sends it long towards the 50. McGovern! Oh, what a terrific grab.
He looked sore too. He landed awkwardly, McGovern, but it was a ripper.
Straight away, backwards kick onto the boundary line.
It was on top. He got the sit. We're used to seeing him take those good marks, but that time got the sit on his teammate Harry Edwards.
Yeah.
It was a beauty.
Yeah, Harvey Norman replay just picking that up perfectly, Baz.
And Liam Ryan's taking a nice mark on the far side for West Coast. A bit of run finally from them. Little short passes find Kennedy. Just outside 50. Ryan runs past, wants it back. Kennedy goes inside the pocket. The back here is Langdon. He can't mark on the second grab. Petruccelli tries to pick it up. Langdon lays a tackle. Comes back to Fremantle. Clearing kick comes from Chapman. Outside 50. Kennedy with the flight of the ball. He can't mark it. The spoil came at the bottom of the ground. There is Kennedy again by handball. It's coming out here to Aish. Aish outside 50. Kick inside. Can't be marked by Ryan. At the bottom of the ground is Petrescu Seaton. He picks it up. And this little handball goes out towards Ryan. Little underground handball. Picked up by Naish in the pocket. He swings. And he misses to the right-hand side. Bob Jane T-Mart's Brittany Taylor.
McGovern got pretty high there, didn't he? Heavy fall, was hands straight on the knees, taking in a few deep breaths, but he's all good. He's waved the trainer away.
Buy 3, get 1 free. Insta cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Goodyear, Dunlop, and all the legendary all-rounder. BobJane.com.au.
Brennan Cox does the kicking in. It was out of bounds on the full, close to the boundary line. They tried to work it out there. Brady Hoff was involved. They couldn't get the ball moving, and it's gone over the line.
So West Coast really getting beaten up around the contest at the moment. Piece highlighted the inside 50 entry, just getting dominated at the moment by Fremantle. West Coast got to start to win some football and start to get the game played in their forward half.
Darcy Tucker gets the footy. And quickly back towards half-back. McGovern looks okay now, and Hearn has marked.
And it's been Fremantle's pressure in this quarter. Even if you look at the tackle, it's 15-5 at the moment. They are just putting West Coast under an enormous amount of pressure.
Chance now, Redden gets the ball moving quickly. O'Connor West had it spent before he had it in his hands. Ryan runs over it. West comes back. Pretty well done. They've worked that out nicely. Chapman, bouncing ball, tough one. Young controlled it okay. And now the ball up the line. It was brilliantly done by Walker. Quick hands after he got the ball from Ryan.
And that's what happens when your pressure's big as well. Like, you get perceived pressure, and West is just coming through the middle of the ground, ball in his hand, and just makes a meal of it.
So it goes back to Ryan this time for Fremantle. Luke Ryan, who goes towards the middle of the ground, and Cox reloads.
Goes into the far side of the ground. Here's Darcy Tucker.
21 minutes played, Tommy, second term.
And the Dockers leaded by 22 points. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. He's called to go. And finds Trav Collier. So he's called to play on as well. Just wheels and goes inboard, a long kick. Here's lob from the side. Can't take the mark. At the front of the pack is Spikowski. Picks it up. Bit of speed, bit of toe. Has a bounce to hand pass back in traffic to Young. Young swings around. He's a big looming left foot kick into the square. Dockers want a free kick. Instead, it's gone across the face and across the line. We'll throw it in right forward pocket.
And Sonny Walters just got sat in the goal square there. Just waiting for the Harvey Norman replay to upload. Here we go. A little bit of a block. I think sometimes Sonny sells it too much.
Yeah, he wanted the free kick there, Michael Walters.
Yeah.
Meek out of the ruck, tries to take it, but taken quickly by Dixon. Almost dropped the footy. Tucker picks it up. He's tackled strongly. That's holding the ball. Saw Sonny there just play for that free kick on the Harvey Norman replay. Need a new laptop or mobile shop. Harvey Norman, we have all the big brands.
I was at Harvey Norman yesterday, bought a remote control.
Card or a... A buttoner?
Yeah. Okay. We lost the other one, couldn't find it.
Would have been cheap though at Harvey Norman.
Harvey Norman, they said,
great price.
This is that cheap, you almost walk out free of charge.
Almost. Almost. Bought a, I didn't need one, bought a second TV for the bedroom while I was there.
Oh, yeah, nah, I'm not surprised.
How big?
Well, we had a tiny one. It was too small, I couldn't see it anymore.
Sounds like you've got two TVs in the bedroom.
No, that's incorrect.
One on the rooftop.
Here's Walters, outside 50. He's about 70 from home, goes to the pocket. Good kick, and Schultz who's been lively up forward in this term's marked on his chest at a 50-degree angle, only 30 metres out. This should be, or rather, very good chance to be, Fremantle's 5th goal.
Schultz is going for the snap, and he's a little bit further out than what Frederick was. He's off now. Bang.
Bends it around and makes no mistake. A 28-point lead now to Fremantle. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon make every tradie's job easier. It's not getting easy for West Coast.
No, it's not. It's such a dour performance by West Coast. They look absolutely lost of answers. Got no courage to go through the corridor, and Fremantle, when they get the opportunity, I know we joked around about them not scoring in the first 10 or 12 minutes of this quarter, but gee whiz, Fremantle, when they moved the ball going forward, Collier on that occasion, straight to Sonny, he rolled and hit Schultz. It was simple. It's like a training pre-season drill at the moment out there for Freo.
Yeah, Dockers have kicked the last 5 now. Last goal for West Coast was in 5 minutes and 53 seconds of the first term, and that was Kennedy. So it's been a while on the Reds Athletic stats.
Looks like Jackson Nelson's gone out into a wing now. So Adam Simpson's saying, well, we just got to find some football through the midfield, and they might have dropped this tag right now.
So Dockers lead the way by 28 points. Clearance comes the way of West Coast. Redden kicks up forward. Petrescu-Seaton can't mark. Walker's on him. Walker just picks it up, just tunneled it into his own hands. Tackle's laid now. Erasmus just shoves it on the boot up to the wing. Going up there is Edwards. Can't mark. At the back of the pack is Frederick. He's tackled by Hoff, dropped the footy, went and got it again to Brody, to Swikowski. Bit of pace over the back here is Walters, if we can get through to him. 3 Dockers, 2 Dockers, 3 Eagles. Hearn picks it up, just tries to beat his opponent by hand. His handball's though turned over to Sonny. Beautiful handball to Schultz from 45 on the snap. Lockie Schultz. He's kicked it. The Dockers are flying. He's got 2. And the Dockers have their 6th. They go to 6-6-42. West Coast 1-2-8. It's a rort here at the Western Derby. We've gone 25 from the second term.
Well, defensively, West Coast have been poor. They're just allowing Fremantle at the moment to be able to run and gun, find plenty of the football. But what's also happening is West Coast defenders are ski roping big time. They're dropping off. They're coming up on their half forwards. Frederick, Schultz, Walters starting to have an impact inside forward 50. And McGovern wants to sit off. Rotham wants to sit off. You can't do that when there's no pressure up the ground. In fact, you can't do it right now. And they're getting exploited.
And we clipped Sonny Walters earlier in the game, just losing the pace. Last 2 goals, direct goal assists from Sonny Walters with some spectacular footy.
So West Coast, incredibly, 26 minutes played. They have not scored in this second term of football. It is the most perfect night for footy. A little bit of a breeze, but nothing to speak of at either end. And West Coast really lamentable in this second term. Just for the record, boys, not a second TV for the bedroom, but a new TV. The other one out, the bigger size in, because I'm getting older. And
I was at Bass's the other night, 7 TVs.
Well,
gosh, Rotham.
A lot of them would have been CCTV, I reckon, Daz. Just the city.
Not a bad idea. While all of that was happening, Rotham, terrible turnover. Akers to Brayshaw, but the kick inside 50 was marked by McGovern and just as well. Nick Nat the target at the back. Hoff! Dixon, and a very, very good mark.
They've finally got an opportunity to move it forward whilst it's one-on-ones. They're waiting for the other 18 to get down there for Freo.
Gee, that was a nice grab by Dixon, just behind Nick Nat. Ryan up in front, Kennedy's got a free.
Ooh. Look at the next 6 players going back to Fremantle here.
Yeah.
But now what's he going to do?
They're slow to fold back, West Coast, aren't they? They're out on their feet at the moment.
Just getting outworked, something shocking.
And even Liam Ryan coming around for the handball. He needs to be inside forward 50 for an option.
So Kennedy, long kick in the end from the side. The big fly, it's going to get out the back. And they're going to control this okay. Well done, Clark. Got it around to Ryan. And now free kick again for Kennedy, is it? Yes, it is. Play on, advantage, no advantage.
So there's no time. You got to go, JK. He can't kick at 60.
No, he can't kick it from here.
Oh, this is gone.
He's going to have to. Well, we're going to see him do a Tory after the siren, I reckon.
This is all they need. He'll tear his hammy off the bone and we'll never see him again.
Oh, he'll go the Tory here.
Yeah, he's got... he's holding as though he is, but he's got the run up like a drop punt.
So Josh Kennedy kicked the Eagles' only goal at the 6-minute mark of the first term.
Tory.
The big Tory, old-fashioned footy from JK, hasn't got onto it, and it's just has not made the distance, fell short in the square. So West Coast are getting their pants pulled down in Western Derby. It's Freo 6-6-42, West Coast 1-2-8. Half-time for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
What do you do?
I'm a landscaper.
Do you have a tiny digger?
Oh, yeah.
They're fun. I've seen those at various jobs over the years that were being done on some of my properties, Harry. Some of the acreage and the winery. They look like fun, Harry. I give them a wide berth because I know the guy driving them's had 15 cans of Monster.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
When my kids' plus ones bring their plus ones, we're going to need more McNugs delivered. Welcome to my world.
Get tonight's dinner delivered with the 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. With delivery available at select locations.
What do you expect when you head out for a tasty lunchtime ramen? The sound of a coffee grinder, the chatter of families, the clanking of a torque wrench being used to tune up a motorcycle? I'm Gary Megan, and in my new podcast, More Than a Menu, I've teamed up with American Express to introduce you to venues that are putting a twist on how you dine out, like a ramen bar fused with a motorcycle workshop. Search More Than a Menu podcast or download the Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener. Want to find a great value phone from Vodafone? One that's only $2 a month? One that lets you explore and navigate your world? With Google built in, you have arrived at your destination. Get the incredible Oppo A16s for only $2 a month when you stay connected for 36 months on any Vodafone Infinite plan. Need directions? Head in store or go online today. Offer available until withdrawn. Plan cost additional. Total minimum cost $112. Phone RRP $252. T's and C's apply.
What's your health worth to you? If you're working around the clock, then your health must come first. Nature Bee Power Pollen can help support your immune defences when you're burning the candle at both ends. The secret to Nature Bee is the process of potentiation. It means it's much easier for the body to digest, which means all those micronutrients are absorbed straight into your body. Try Power Pollen today from just $33 a month at naturebee.com.au and get 10% off your first order. That's naturebee.com.au.
Next time you're at the shops, take a second to spare, because there are people in our community who need a little extra care. Those who live week to week, pay by pay, miss out when the shelves are bare because it was their only shopping day. All we ask is you buy what you need. Don't buy into the fear, as the vulnerable miss out across the country, far and near. A message from foodbank.org.au, where every dollar donated is 2 meals created.
Isuzu trucks launched in Australia half a century ago. Since then, generations of businesses have relied on our trucks to deliver day in and day out. As they've grown, we've grown along with them to become Australia's #1 truck brand. And we'll be right here helping build businesses for a long time to come, because reputations are riding on us. Isuzu. Reliability is everything.
When my kids' plus ones bring their plus ones, we're going to need more McNugs delivered. Welcome to my world.
Get tonight's dinner delivered with the 40 chicken McNugget pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. With delivery available at select locations.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
Optus Stadium, Western Derby number 54. It's been all one-way traffic in the first half. The Fremantle Dockers 6-6-42, West Coast 1-2-8. Goal kickers so far. Schultz has 2, both in that quarter. 2 for Frederick, 1 for Tabernar and 1 for Travis Collier. For West Coast, Josh Kennedy the only goal kicker at the 6-minute mark of the first term. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, Xavier Ellis and Andrew Amboy, the Dockers, one-way traffic.
Well, it was a domination in that second quarter by Fremantle. They absolutely annihilated West Coast around the middle off the ground. Their ball movement was a lot better. They were prepared to take the game on. They had options inside forward 50, and at the moment, West Coast, well, they're just guessing around the contest. They're allowing Fremantle to be first. Their defenders want to sit off. They want to be able to get the easy ball in, and they're just not doing that. And when they do win the football, West Coast, they are slow with their ball movement, and they want to go sideways, and they're just turning the footy over. It's been a really disappointing quarter for mine to watch the West Coast Eagles. And I think when you look at what happened last week, no expectation. They've gone over there, they've played a good game. Everyone is just applauding West Coast all week, and they would have come over to Perth feeling really good about themselves.
They still lost to North Melbourne, who lost by 100 last night.
That's exactly right. And, you know, they've sort of gone, well, we get a few players back this week, and they've come out, they first 10 minutes or so, they look pretty good, but after about sort of 10-minute mark of the first quarter, Fremantle have just absolutely just torched them, and they'd be really disappointed with that first half, the West Coast Eagles. Fremantle are just they're looking the better at the moment. They look certainly their structure behind the footy a lot better, but their heat and their pressure has really stood up. And we saw Fremantle get probably put under that pressure from St Kilda last week, and they butchered the football well. They've probably taken a leaf out of St Kilda's book, and they've applied that pressure to West Coast today, and they've forced the Eagles into the turnover. And then when they've gone really quick, and West Coast just haven't been able to keep up.
Oh, and to rub salt in the wound, I'd had a few beers the other night, and I made a bet that West Coast would beat Fremantle.
With who?
I'm now playing thirds footy on the weekend.
For who?
West Coast Cowan. I completely forgot about it. Down at the Scarborough Sporty, the old mount, gobbing off with a couple of Freo supporters.
So you're going to
just
pull
got
the boots on?
X-lace up the boots. How you feeling, big fella?
When was the last time you played?
Too long. Mate, I am that fat I nearly stand on my stomach.
I'll tell you what, do they have the sub rule in that kind of
No, they don't, but I tell you what we do.
Bring it in.
A mate of mine, Benno, will play full forward. I'll play forward pocket.
You'd want to make sure that you take those big cankles up, mate.
The cankles aren't the issue.
This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, quartered power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. For West Coast, no Shuey, Kelly, Yo, Sheed, Rioli, Allen, Duggan, Cole, Cripps. Is this what you expected, or is it still below par?
No, expected better from West Coast.
That's as bad as I've seen West Coast play.
Yep.
Yeah.
In my time being in that was atrocious.
The big example, you mentioned it during the call, was when the Dockers players all ran back into defence and there was no West Coast players around.
Free kick to, was it Kennedy or someone?
Yeah.
It was a one-on-one inside the goal square. Within 3 seconds by the time the board got back, look up to get it going forward, there was the next 6 players to go inside that 50-metre line were Fremantle players. So effectively it was a 1-on-7. They're working much harder. Maybe West Coast. I reckon West Coast turned up, saw the names on paper and thought, Ryan, Gaff, Redden, Natanui, Kennedy, McGovern, and thought, that's pretty good. They're premiership players.
And then probably looked at Fremantle's list and said, who Mundy's not out there, Fife's not out there, no Sarong. You know what? If we send Jackson Nelson to Brayshaw, then who's going to win footy for him through the middle off the ground? Nick Nat's bat, he'll destroy Lord Meek. It's almost been this mindset from the Eagles. I'm not saying this is the case, but from what we've seen out there at the moment, they haven't respected Fremantle. They've been second to the football, and they've been torched.
Breaking news. Yeah. Brad's just bought some kind of, up the back, the tech, a bit of curry or something into the box.
Yeah, no, that's all right. He's a fine diner, Brad. It's fantastic.
No party pipes.
Looks like
the West Coast names that we're used to, and they fell off the perch last year, and they were ordinary as well in the.
They 2-9 the back end of last year.
Yeah, and then the year before in the shortened season, they were disappointing. They were going in almost favourites for flag at the start of that year.
Didn't enjoy the hub experience, did they?
Didn't enjoy the hub, but is that just what they are now? Are we reading up names and going, well, they'll win because the names are there, but after 3 years, I know this one's a bit interrupting, 14 ins and outs, and don't get me wrong, but disappointing last year how they ended. They were sitting prime for a top 4 spot halfway through the year, fell for perch. No good in the hub year, and also, this year they'll be 0-3.
And you look at their month of footy, like, no disrespect to the teams that played them, but there's every chance that the first, Fremantle might not play finals this year.
Yeah.
Okay. North Melbourne won't play finals.
They've made 26 changes in 2 weeks. The thing that's really going to hurt them if they thought they were a final side this year, they have an easy draw to start, right?
Well, the next 4 games. Collingwood in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide. away, Richmond, who aren't obviously what they used to be, and then they cop the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba.
So they'll be 0-8. Yeah. All right. Halftime, Amy Clangers. Who covers Clangers on and off the field? Amy does.
Came out the back to Akers instead, towards half forward. Now McGovern's given away a free kick. Taberner's free, and he could get 50 here.
50.
Gee.
Oh, that was a bit silly. Big taps. Oh, no.
He should have had 50, and then he's punched with it in the head.
So he's whacked with it and over.
That's just a brain fade from Taberner.
Not smart.
Well, normally, Baz, the Amy Clangers are someone in the commentary box that's made a stuff up.
Normally it's me, Baz.
And I
That's
thought
what he's trying to
it wouldn't be
allude to.
nice because it started with you, I thought. If Baz, first up from a long spell to give Baz the clanger, but thank God it was Tabsy.
Tabs, yeah. Look at the X-Man. There's a clanger. Just when he was called upon to give a comment, he loaded up the mouth with the second pie.
I looked at the producer and I did the old break. And he gave me the double thumbs up. And I thought, right, we're going to a break. I'm going to throw to it because I've got a mouthful of 2 party pies sitting in front of me. Do you credit?
Am I the only bloke, by the way, who never wants to go on the roof at Optus Stadium? I don't understand the fuss about all of that.
I hate heights.
Pictures on the old Harvey Nolan replay up there. I can see you up there, Ambers. Actually,
absolutely not.
Bit of
Tell
rush.
you one thing's not a clanger. CNX, eat pies.
Oh.
They go straight down. Does not spill a bit.
This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, quarter power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. The Dockers 6642, lead West Coast 128. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
From Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show 50 grand payday.
Matthew, you're going to dial
the
the
number?
first number on our list. That's 1.
I wake up with Marty.
$50,000.
My wife's going nuts in the background.
What's your wife's name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. I'm just so excited.
Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
When my kids' plus ones bring their plus ones, we're going to need more McNugs delivered. Welcome to my world.
Get tonight's dinner delivered with the 40 Chicken McNugget Pack and new spicy sticky barbecue sauce from Macca's. With delivery available at select locations.
Optus Business Plus is a flexible solution that you can build the way you want. You can pick and choose your products and services like mobile, internet, phone lines and more. And because things change, it's easy to scale up or down from month to month. Search Optus Business Plus today or call us to talk business. Great business starts with yes. T's and C's apply.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from thousands of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
Open your ears to a new world of audio. Radio, podcasts, music and news, all in your personalised daily feed. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener. All of us are on the move. We're all going places. We're moving up. We're moving out. We're moving on. Maybe we don't even know it yet. But we're all on a journey. Wherever you're going, here at BP, we can help you on your way.
At Me, we're the bank making money good, which is why when you switch your home loan to Me, we'll give you $3 grand cash back. So now you're making money. Good. Head to mebank.com.au or speak to your broker today. Apply by the 30th of May and settle by the 31st of August. Max LVR 80%. Min loan size 250k. T's and C's, credit and other eligibility criteria apply.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi there, David Dolan here with your news briefing. The Treasurer is defending Scott Morrison over those claims the PM made negative remarks about the Lebanese background of his opponent when running for Liberal pre-selection in 2007. Morrison has again rejected the allegations today, calling them malicious and bitter slurs. Josh Frydenberg backing the PM here on the ABC.
He's categorically denied it. And Jamal Rifi, who is one of Australia's leaders of the Australian Muslim Lebanese community, has said about Scott Morrison that he doesn't have a racist bone in his body. That's what he has said.
And as we wait for an election to be called any day now, the Liberal Party has revealed 9 candidates for New South Wales, 5 are women, following a bitter pre-selection stoush. More wild weather for Queensland with a late-season cyclone set to form over the Coral Sea this week, just in time for the school holidays. Thankfully, it's unlikely to come too close to Australia, although it's still expected to generate plenty of rain and big surf, while southeast Victoria remains on alert after torrential rain today, with major flooding predicted in East Gippsland along the Cairn River tonight. The Victorian government has announced a $1.5 billion COVID catch-up plan to help clear a backlog of elective surgery in the state's hospital system. And best known as George Costanza's nagging mum on Seinfeld, American actress Estelle Harris has died aged 93. She was also the voice of Mrs. Potato Head in the Toy Story series.
Victoria's Basement. World-famous brands at famous basement prices on cookware, kitchenware, dinnerware, glassware and cutlery. Shop Victoria's famous basement prices online now.
Cloudy with a possible shower this evening, partly cloudy and 21 tomorrow with showers in the Dandenongs, and looking mostly fine on Tuesday. Our listener app is the new home of Triple M. Join up to listen live or on demand now.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Optus Stadium final of round 3. Fremantle 6-6-42, West Coast 1-2-8. It's been all one-way traffic. Goals so far, 2 to Schultz, 2 to Frederick, 1 to Taverner and Collier. Josh Kennedy at the 6-minute mark of the first term, the only goal kicker for the West Coast Eagle. Triple M Reds then leading stats for the first half. Here's the Beast.
Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, leading the way for West Coast was Gaff with 19. Most of them were uncontested. He wasn't doing much with the ball. No inside 50s or anything like that. 1 clearance to his name. Hearn in game number 304. 15 disposals in that first half for him. 3 inside 50s. Witherden had 13. Redden 12 and 3. Most of that in the first term or even the first 5 minutes of the first term for Redden. Nick Nat finished with 9, 3 clearances and 14 hitouts for him. Kennedy had the 1 goal like we spoke about. And for Freo, Tucker and Chapman 12 disposals each. Tucker also had the 5 clearances. Meek, X's man, 11 disposals, 4 clearances, 9 hitouts, 3 inside 50s. Brody, 11 disposals with 2 clearances. Brayshaw, a little bit quiet, just 7 for him. He averages 19 in 7 derbies. So he hasn't got the highest record by his lofty standards, but granted, he was young for some of them. But look for him to maybe kick off in the second, which is more bad news for West Coast. Fredericks and Schultz, 2 goals each. Freo were +5 in tackles, +3 in clearances, +4 in inside 50s. So stats don't quite tell the story of that first half, considering West Coast started quick, but West Coast also gave up 5 goals from turnovers. So they've been punished every time they're turning over the ball by Freo. And that's a Triple M Red Z lending stats for the first half.
Oh, very comprehensive.
He's been doing his job very, very well. He's very polished.
I mean, I know I'm new to the box and I shouldn't be surprised. And the X has given me all the rundown on how good he is. But X, geez, Beast, to see you firsthand like that, outstanding.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break, book direction save with choicehotels.com. Carlton by a point, St Kilda by 33. We're almost about to kickstart this third term with Baz. And of course, that'll be for IGA Liquor, Baz.
Yes, looking very much forward to that. Now, I see Waterman still with the warm-up T-shirt on, so no action there.
IGA Liquor, at a drop for your shop this footy season at IGA Liquor. Like a 6-pack of beers to go with your footy snacks.
2 non-drinkers doing this credit. You hand it over.
Well, they get the full credit now, do they?
IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Absolutely.
You'll be driving past,
mate.
Snacks and your...
Well, actually, funnily enough, I'll probably put this game on again and I'll be asleep within the first quarter and happy days.
So the margin is Freo's 34 points Here we go. Second half of Western Derby number 54. It's all one-way traffic, Freo's way. Here's the great man, Basil Zemplis.
Thank you. Very kind. Well, really all we're hoping for just to get things kick-started is a score from West Coast. Score. That'd be something. That really is quite extraordinary. No score, repeat, no score from West Coast in that second term, and as a result, the lead is 34 points for the Fremantle Dockers. Josh Kennedy kicked the last goal for West Coast. The only goal for West Coast, 5:53 to the first term. They go forward now. Darling, not quite. Off hands. Quickly snappers at Petrocelli. Yes, it is. There you go. Not only a score, a goal. Inside 16 seconds, Petrocelli gets it done.
Makes you wonder what we sat through for the last 40 minutes. They kicked that in 16 seconds.
They started quick first time too, so we've got to be careful.
No, you're right.
Maybe they're just good after a break.
No, the fresh start. Yes. Nick Nat, though, he's had enough of mucking around with Boyd Meeks.
Big slap forward.
We sent that to centre half forward. Clark Keating and said, let's get going from centre half forward.
There might be something in this for West Coast. Get their forwards to just hold back at some of these centre bounces, big slap forwards, and see if they can do what they just did then. So good start by the Eagles. Whatever Simo said, I'm sure it would have been a good old-fashioned spray at half-time. Certainly worked.
Head towards goals.
Well, they couldn't get any worse. The West Coast Eagles, 2-2-14. The Dockers, 6-6-42. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Twickenham Rocks footy. Here goes Nick again, just slaps it forward. A big punch. Nick gets it back. Here goes Jeff from 40. The big man does it all. Slaps it out of the ruck, ropes his own footy, and then kicks West Coast second inside 60 seconds.
Hang on, something on the ground seriously just happened.
Oh, gee.
It's something quite serious.
Very serious. The players from Fremantle really concerned. Gee, that's extraordinary. Nick Nat knew his goal, one of the great goals of the year. Not so much the kick, but the follow-up work out of the middle. But who's that down, Tommy?
I think it's Luke. No, it's not Luke Ryan.
Is it Tarsi Tucker?
It's hard to see. There's
flat on his back.
There's doctors, physios, 3 physios.
Yeah, no, that was major concern immediately by Fremantle.
So we're just trying to find out
And
whether he
2
just
doctors.
is he collapsed from the ground, is he?
It looked that way unless there was accidental contact, unless he just got
I don't think
up.
there was, because there was no one disputing what had happened. The concern was straight to the player. And major concern by about 12 or 15 players.
You know it's super serious when the trainers from the other team come over as well. So it's Tucker.
Yeah, in the tackle. Okay. So I reckon he maybe got up and then gone down.
His head, back of his neck.
Didn't seem to be his...
It didn't look that bad, did it?
No.
I wonder if he got collected after that.
So it was a tackle from Connor West. He wasn't a sling tackle.
No,
or anything.
not
He
really.
just kind of brought him to ground. Looks like Tucker might have just sort of hit the back of his head on the ground. We're just seeing now in the Harvey Norman replay.
Maybe that's gone there.
No, it's
he looked okay.
It looks like his back and his neck at the moment. That's the issue that they've got right now. So he just felt something, I reckon, in his neck or his back.
So he was sitting up, and then I think he's just keeled over. And right at that time, the players were running back towards the middle, and that's when all the Fremantle players have started waving their hands around and said urgent attention needed.
Yeah.
And you know it's serious when the opposition team's training staff get involved as well, and they were all there as well offering assistance.
So for Bob Jane team marks, let's go downstairs to Britt.
9 people around at the moment, as you can see. I can see as much as you guys can as well. Bailey Banfield on the sidelines here, warming up, as you would imagine. But just the major concern straight away, as you said, when you see the opposition's trainers going straight away, they're just lifting him onto the stretcher at the moment. But even players from the Eagles were calling over those trainers straight away. So it was concern immediately.
Now, what we need to acknowledge too is West Coast kicked 2 goals in 30 seconds. They are on track to kick 100 goals this quarter. They are on a 100-goal pace. That's after being held scoreless in the second term.
We'll see if it holds up.
100 goals has never been scored before in an AFL quarter. They're on that pace.
Yeah, a huge start by West Coast, but it's going to be interesting to see how both sides react to this, because this is quite concerning for Darcy Tucker and his mates for Fremantle as well.
Yes.
But Tucker's just been carried off now.
He's in a neck brace at the moment, so they're obviously doing everything they can to
He's awake.
He's awake.
Yeah,
I think he was awake the whole time, though.
Yeah.
He has a doctor holding his neck, and he has that neck brace on. So we'll get Britt to try and find out more from the doctors as soon as we can and let the audience know. But, not good signs for Darcy Tucker.
But something must have happened to alarm the boys like that.
Immediately the arm started
I think he keeled back.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like he's passed.
It's almost like when he rolled, he knew that something had happened. West Coast Eagles supporters giving him a standing ovation. He's given the thumbs up, which is fantastic to so for his family that are listening at home.
And so with all of that, the margin has been cut to 22 points. And West Coast, they're back in this game. And Nick Natanui has played close to the best 30 seconds of his career. Unbelievable stuff, particularly that second goal. He follows up again, but this time it's out to Meek. Brayshaw gets the ball moving forward. Bouncing ball for Frederick on the 50. Just as Sessa's good hard run continued to come from the main man. And Brayshaw doing what great midfielders do. They keep running.
Connor West had him at that stoppage at the centre bounce, and then he put 15 to 20 metres on him almost immediately. The tag's being dropped, and then he does this within a minute and a half of the game, restarting after half-time. He could blow up this second half.
Well, you can't underestimate how important this is. If he kicks the goal, he takes all that sting out of West Coast, and he misses. He misses. So behind only, margin 23 points, and Brayshaw up to 9 disposals. Triple M IGA scoreboard.
The lights are on here in the third term. West Coast with a couple of quick goals. The margin is 23 points. We've gone 6 minutes so far in the third term as Rotham has it at half back. This kicks high down the line for Darling. No mark can be taken. Falls to the ground. Here's Meek. Erasmus at the foot of the contest though. Cox picks it up. Will hand pass out the back to Ryan. He goes again by hand to Clark. He's been chased by Petruccelli. Turnover though for West Coast. Here's Petrescu-Seaton by hand. Goes to Witherden. He goes by hand though. And the Dockers might get it back by Brody. Brody will hand pass into Frederick. In the centre of the ground. Goes to Young. Goes back to Aish. Aish looks for some speed here of Collier. Collier kicks up towards Walters. Over the top though is Rotham. The nice little spoil, a double-hander. Collier picks it up. Hand passes back to Walters. Walters a look-away handball over the top to Brayshaw. Brayshaw goes and finds Erasmus. The first gamer. Snaps around the corner. And he's missed the left-hand side. Freo 6-8-44. West Coast 3-2-20. Gone 7 minutes in the third term. On the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
I've been very impressed by Neil Erasmus. He's looked right at home straight away.
Good to see these young kids. Fremantle have invested in a lot of them.
Class act. And he's hit the ground running. We've got a turnover. No. Chewy very nearly did. Hearn's defensive kick just got to where it was intended. In fact, a free kick against Acres, so it helped ease a little bit of the pressure. Petruccelli, opening goal of this term inside the first 16 seconds. Tries to bring the wall towards the midfield. It just got over the top of Brayshaw's head. The two number 8s together. Redden. Eagles crowd wanted 50. Didn't get it. Liam Ryan sliding to his knees. Marks just inside the square. Goes long. Darling! Oh, didn't mark. Should have marked. Ryan, the defensive work. He handballs. Dangerous, but okay in the end. Ends up with Chapman. And his kick out. It's going to have a little bit too much on it. Coming back in. And coming back in from Josh Rotham. Darling had his chance.
Yeah, that was one he should have gobbled up. Got his mitts to it and dropped the sit-up.
Summed up his pre-season. That one right there for Jack Darling as Rotham goes back inside 50. Darling contests. Can't mark. Plenty of Dockers there. Aish gets the winning kick. Just kicks up towards Walters. He puts it on the boot and kicks it out of bounds in the full. So Alex Witherden. No, it's going to be McGovern who'll take it. He goes short and goes back to Witherden. Red Dead Lending stats for Alex Witherden Beast.
He's doing all right, 14 disposals.
He goes to Hearn, switches on across the ground to Edwards. Edwards has a loose man out wide in Nelson. Nelson gets it on the far side of the wing. Wants to go and go quickly. Goes deep into the pocket. Is Kennedy, just gets rid of Pearce and takes a strong mark in the pocket.
Well, it's a different West Coast Eagles side in this third quarter. Their pressure, and that's what, on the back of that, has been really good.
I think Pearce has hurt himself.
Alex,
too,
might have hurt himself. Luke Ryan.
And he hasn't even got up.
Yeah,
He's not even trying to get up.
Oh, no, that right knee, which is strapped already, of course.
It's definitely his right leg. He's pointing, right lower leg.
Has he broken his leg? He has broken his leg in the past, or ankle, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got pushed off. Having on replay at the moment.
Oh, there it goes.
So he just got pushed underneath the footy, and then just looked like that his
gets stuck under him a little
right
bit, doesn't it?
knee just buckles under him.
And then that fold under there.
Yeah.
It's when he lands on it on top of it.
Of course, the Harvey Norman replay, the new laptop and mobile shop, Harvey Norman. We have all the big brands. So Britt's going to be kept busy.
What a turnaround in this game.
Yeah, it's been an incredible 5 minutes of footy. West Coast have kicked a couple of goals, lining up for their third, and Fremantle have lost one and may have lost two.
And Kennedy every chance from out here, of course.
He loves his side, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
So Kennedy, 45, just in from the boundary line. The West Coast third in the term, leans back, does Josh, and misses to the left-hand side. West Coast 3-3-21, the Dockers 6-8-44. Some good signs, though. Alex Pearce is just running off. Britt Taylor, Bob Jane, T-Marks.
Well, you're right. Just as the medical sub had been activated, Bailey Banfield on the field now, but Alex Pearce just hobbling off to the boundary now. Keep an eye on him.
Thanks, Britt. 4 straight kicks the difference, but it feels like it's a lot closer. Terrific mark, Taberner. Gave it to Brayshaw. Good kick out wide. And now they're a running, cruising past was Akers. Didn't get there. Banfield rather goes long and lob marks. Lob on Hearn, way too tall. Good kick in the end by Banfield. He put it to the right side, and the sub on the ground and into the game.
Straight into it.
Did well there, Banfield. Just good composure. You had Clark alongside him, could have given it to him, but decided had a good contest, one-on-one. Lob.
Hardly seen him. Rory Lob, just 2 disposals. Kicks the steadier that Fremantle needed. They get that and breathe a big sigh of relief. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Fremantle 7-8-50. West Coast 3-3-21.
It's funny, Embers. West Coast poor first half means they had to drop the tag of Andy Brayshaw. Andy Brayshaw, the tag's been dropped the first 5 minutes of this quarter. It's had 4 disposals, but it's been 4 disposals in the front half of the field. That one there, running open, found the open side, Banfield. Time before, got the shot on goal himself. And it all comes down to the poor first half. They can't do what they wanted to do, West Coast. And now Andrew Brayshaw gets the opportunity to light this game up.
And third term inside 50 is now 5-3 in favour of the Eagles. To note as well, Darcy Tucker, when he went off, was the high man for Freo. 13 disposals, 5 clearances. So it's not just any miss at the moment for them on the Reds Head Lending stats.
Reds Head Lending loans for the self-employed, as we saw Alex Pearce sliding down on the stretcher bed in the dugout, having some work done to his right lower leg. And here we go again. Nat Nui just jumps into Meek, gets his own clearance again. Little hand pass off to Edwards. Edwards high, up and under kick. Dixon's there. Across the front of the pack is Jones. He can't mark. He is Darling. Little hand pass out to Aish. Aish from 65 puts it into the pocket, running onto it is Gaff and Kennedy. Walters is there as well. In fact, it's Walker. And Walker takes it and goes across the line and will throw it in. Let's go downstairs to Bob Jane, T-Master Britt.
Pearce with his right boot off, heading down to the rooms now.
Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cashback on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Goodyear, Dunlop, and all the legendary all-rounder, bobjane.com.au.
Tom, your work on the credits today also very, very good.
Well, normally I don't do any. Normally Locke does all of them, so.
You've stepped right up. Aish, kick around the corner. West Coast can come back here. Ball coming forward, eventually from Naish. High ball, Darling, Kennedy knocked away. And knocked away with intent by Cox. He got it over the line for a behind. West Coast 3-3-21. 3-4-22 rather. Freo 7-8-50. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Would love to see Liam Ryan maybe out of the goal square. I think I'm not too nervous seeing Jack Darling down there at the moment. Had the opportunity, spilled his opportunity. I don't know. I just feel as though Jack and JK one-on-one. It doesn't seem dangerous if we can get Liam Ryan, West Coast get Liam Ryan or someone down there. It might be a bit more dangerous.
Yeah, all of that was very, very ugly. And in the end, Jordan Clark, after coming broadcast side, they tried to go to the outer side and then kick the ball out of bounds on the full. And now Rotham has got the footy about 70 metres from home on the outer side. Sends it long down towards full forward. Flyers come. Ball on the ground, Langdon. Kennedy followed up Darling too. Ball over the line for a throw-in. Now only about 25 metres around from West Coast goal.
You just feel, though, at the moment, West Coast, they've started this third quarter well. There's a bit of a belief out there at the moment, so they've got to get the next one.
So Nat Nui taps it down to Langdon. He just throws it on the boot, doesn't make the distance. Ryan can't pick it up. Nat Nui, another clearance, back to Langdon. Strong tackle by Aish, comes to the front of the square. Chapman, that's almost a throw. He goes to Clark, will handball to Brayshaw. He goes to Young, and the Dockers are away from defence. Long down the line, beautiful kick. Hayden Young, beautiful kick of the footy. He found Schultz. Schultz comes inboard to Banfield. Been called to play on the middle of the ground. Bailey Banfield, the sub, just switches it up to O'Driscoll on the far side of the ground. O'Driscoll, he wants to cut inboard through his trusted left foot. He does now. Little spearing ball in front of Lob. Lob has to punch the ball from behind. Picked up by Schultz. Hand pass out to Brayshaw. Brayshaw puts it up 3-on-2. McGovern goes back with the pack. No mark can be taken. Walters picks it up. Snaps from Sun. And he's hit the post. And the Dockers 7-8-50, West Coast 3-4-22, 15.5 gone in third term. Triple M IJ, look at the scoreboard.
Just West Coast, the ball at the moment coming out of their forward line just too easy and not enough pressure, and it's just slingshot footy again. Fremantle from half back, and they're just outnumbering West Coast at the contest. Michael Walters had a really good opportunity then. He's been good since quarter time though.
Cbus Super, special comments delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Cbus for all of us.
Witherden, short to Harry Edwards. Got the footy in the back pocket. He can go short to Witherden again, or a longer ball. It's the longer option. Hugh Dixon, the target almost behind the back. Chapman clever. Got the ball to Aish. Inside 50 off Walter's chest. Witherden again in the action. Has been for a while. Hoff beat the man, then West. His ball towards the middle, marking contest. No mark again, Dixon. He's been up and down a few times. Lob got it from Chapman. Ball into the middle of the ground. Switkowski, Brayshaw. It came across brilliantly from Erasmus. Long ball down towards full forward, the mark by Tabernar. Oh, brilliant football, Fremantle. Superb ball handling in the middle of the ground. Long and direct. Erasmus, the first gamer involved, and Tabernar the clunk.
He's been important, Tabernar. He just gives them a contest inside forward 50, gives Lob a chop out as well. And we asked where the goals were going to come from. Well, Tabernar's provided an option. He's already got one, lining up for number 2.
It's his 8th disposal coming up. This will make it really hard for West Coast. 29 points is the margin. Out to 35. He kicks the goal.
The ball movement, I mean, they're going to have an opportunity Monday to cut up the vision, Fremantle. They've kicked 8 goals, and 8 goals from almost perfect place. There's been no scrapping and fighting and scrapping to get a goal. When they've had the opportunity to go forward and score a goal, often from the half-back flank, they've gone through uncomposed. Good strong mark there, one-hander by Tabernar. That was a really strong mark at McGovern.
And that was everything that West Coast haven't been able to do with the tall timber at the other end.
Absolutely, complete opposite. They're probably saying, give us a bloody one-on-one and we'll try and sort it out. But Fremantle are just going forward, and again, Brayshaw after a big start this quarter.
And Neil Erasmus, nice little first game for him, 12 disposals now.
Yeah.
1 clearance, 1 inside 50.
As we go again, it's Rory Lobb into the middle, but Nick Nat just wins it down beautifully, straight down to Edwards. He just puts it high, out in front of Petruccelli. He can't mark it. Clark goes in. Petruccelli jumps on his back. Umpire says that's fine. And the players converge and will throw it up half forward for West Coast.
Felt West Coast, their shot was the start of the third quarter. They came out flying a couple of goals, and to Fremantle's credit, they've just taken the wind out of their sail right now, gone bang bang and equalled it right up.
So West just tries to take it out of the ball up. Patricia Seaton does. No effective kick from Redden. Comes back here to Akers. He's tackled. Hand pass off to Switkowski. Bit of pace. Gets past Hearn. Goes back to Akers. Akers, little handball inside to Erasmus. He's tackled. Good pressure from the Eagles. And Witherden's happy to see it across the line. Boundary side in the wing. Let's go downstairs. Bob Jane T. Marks to Britt.
Alex Pearce back out, just heading to the bench now, so back out from the rooms and having a little bit of a run on what looked like that ankle.
Yeah, he's jogging around, Britt. That's really good news, isn't it?
Yeah, he looked down and out there for a while.
He looked like he may have broken his leg. He's not that bad. We know that. Gee, well done, Lob. Clean possession to Svitkowski. And now Taverner, they're really running on hard, Fremantle. Early onslaught to start this term to Fredericks in the pocket. He went really wide. Too wide in the end, and off hands and boundary throw-in coming up 25, 30 metres around from their goal.
McGovern then chops that off in the forward pocket, but if he had just played on Taverner, he might have chopped it off on the half-forward flank. Instead, they drop off. Taverner gets the mark deep inside 50, opportunity to score.
Frederick, of course, no S on the end. No S, Frederick. Quick ball kicked out by Naish. Hasn't cleared the defensive 50, so Banfield now on with Hoff. Banfield, little paddle to himself, did well, needs to handball it away and has done so. He's run out of bounds though, the Fremantle Docker. I don't know if he was out of bounds or whether he kicked it out of bounds, but either way, out of bounds off full.
Edwards is playing on Frederick and McGovern's playing on Taberner.
Right?
Wrong?
Yes, of course, yes.
But shouldn't Harry Edwards be on Taberner?
I mean, Gov's a 4 or 5 time All-Australian. If Tom Barrass was there, Tom Barrass. But, I mean, sometimes you got to defend.
Yeah.
Taberner was the Docker close to the line, by the way.
Hey guys, the Eagles just make their way to the outer wing and they're going to throw it in. Get some more news about Alex Pearce shortly from Britt downstairs as Lob just wins the tap. To the front of the pack is Brody. He'll hand pass off to Collier. Here you go, the Dockers again. Bit of pace. Swikowski, plenty of pace. Beats one. Has a bounce inside 50. Over the top, though. He had Taverner on, but missed him. And the Eagles will get it back here through Nelson. His kick goes a shocker. And Blake Acres has marked the ball 35 out, 45-degree angle. Jackson Nelson, not one of his best efforts.
Just again another turnover in West Coast back half. They just haven't been composed with their football in hand. And Jackson Nelson now, he's coming to the bench, not because of the bad kick, it's his turn, but certainly he hangs his head. He started on Brayshaw, but he set himself all week. And unfortunately not good from him, and Fremantle should make West Coast pay right now.
So Blake Acres leans up from 35. I think he's just stuck it in. He has, and the Dockers are rolling now. That's their ninth. 9-9-63. West Coast 3-4-22. Gone 22 minutes in the third term on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Even then, Embers, if you're watching the replay on the Harvey Norman replay, West Coast got lucky. They got an opportunity to rebound. But again, they all dropped off Taberner, ran back to the goal square to try and do this third man up fancy stuff. It was just by chance that they missed Taberner, and then Nelson picked it up and butchered the football. But they probably should have had a goal kicked against them the first time.
West Coast are playing a style that they played 4 years ago when they won a grand final. They rely on pressure up the field. That allows their backs to be able to ski rope, come off their man, take those intercept marks. Unfortunately, at the moment, West Coast can't do that anymore because they're not getting the heat and their backs are getting found out as well.
So it's 41 points for McDonald's. Feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack today. Available from 10:30 a.m. That is dangerously early for Xavier Ellis. You get 3 in a day, I reckon you couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't...
The 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack.
Available a phone call again.
Embers just left the box again.
What, has there been a blow?
As soon as you mentioned the chicken nuggets,
right, okay. Well, everybody has different tactics for resisting.
Right. His willpower is low.
Taberner outside 50, not a good kick, and Rotham's going to mark in front of Frederick. Frederick chasing, nearly got him. Akers back to Frederick. Play on. Well, it should have been play on. Is it holding the ball? Gee, that's unusual. Naish, he got a hand in there, and I think holding the ball's been called, but very, very lucky, I would suggest. Embers goes cold turkey. I like that. So as soon as we mention the 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack, Embers has to leave the box so that he doesn't have any influence. It's clever. The ball clumsily over the line, and gee, that's a lucky free kick for Jack Redden.
He'll try and find it. He'll try and find something, surely.
So Redden is about 90 metres from home. Lays it up. Ryan at the back. Defenders come. And that's pretty good work by O'Driscoll. Got it moving forward. Age caught in a good tackle. Langdon got him. 55 out.
That's better heat from West Coast. Just haven't been able to do it consistently today, especially out of their forward half. Fremantle been able to run the footy out too easy, but that particular time, Langdon, who hasn't had a big impact on the game, he's definitely too far out to score from 50.
He's no chance.
So a little layup from him as well. Half distance kick. Ryan's been bowled over, no free. And Cox, the man that did the bowling over, takes the easiest of marks.
Interesting. Gaff after 19 in the first half has not touched the ball in the third. Red Z Benny stats.
And I've been watching him beats. He's playing inside the contest, starting in the centre, just can't get his hand on it.
Just trying to think of Switzkowski. I might watch it a little bit as it unfolds, but it doesn't look like that Fremantle have gone to him really hard, but I might watch Switzkowski might be going to him a little bit.
Choice hotels around the grounds. There was a great game.
Yeah, it was a ripper.
Carlton by 1 point. Blue Baggers.
How good's crowd's back at the footy too?
I think 65 there at the G.
Was it really?
Yeah, so a big crowd. And the Blue Baggers are up and about. They're 3-0. And St Kilda by 33 over Richmond.
Lloyd Meek's done a really good job today. Nick Nat's certainly had his moments, but Meek, they really needed something from him, obviously with no Darcy, and it wouldn't be many times where he's led the ruck for his side, but certainly could hold his head up high right now.
He still needs 2 more for a career best, actually.
He's gone cold, I will say. Yeah.
The margin is 41 points, Freo's way, 25 gone in the third term. The Dockers, just down at the back of this ruck contest, have some time through Walker. He's got too much time. A beautiful kick, little spearing one up towards Walters over his head. Comes out the back, here's Witherden. Tries to tap it the way of Nelson. Nelson does likewise to Jones. Big tackle by Brayshaw, he's got him. Umpire says play on.
Wow.
Akers gets it, goes to Schultz, back to Brayshaw. Another touch for Andy Brayshaw this quarter. That's number 8 for the quarter. Goes to Clark. Clark pumps it deep inside 50. And all by himself at the back of the pack is Hearn. And Hearn's marked it deep in defence for West Coast. And that's a better aggressive kick for the Eagles. Beautiful pass to Foley. Here's Ryan, one-on-one with Chapman. Chapman over the top. No free kick. No free kick given. And Ryan's got a bit of toe. A bit of toe from Liam Ryan, who runs away from Chapman. Just sockets it into the square. And the Dockers are going to recoup and send it up with Jordan Clark.
Give it to Chapman. Give it to him. That was fantastic defensively.
It was. Had to be a free kick, I would have thought. Put his hands. Yeah, it was a free kick that wasn't given. I'll tell you what, though, credit to Chapman. He hit the deck hard and got up.
And caught Ryan.
Yeah,
that's a big effort.
No, that really was. And it was the centering ball like European football, wasn't it? That no one on the end of it. Nelson, I reckon they're still reminding him of the indiscretion that caused a Fremantle goal. He pumps it back inside 50. Kennedy, he struggled today. Petricelli, he's kicked a goal, started it off this term. And that is good news. So Pearce is warming up. He wasn't subbed out, was he?
No, it was Darcy Tucker was the player that was subbed out.
So Pearce can come back onto the ground. It looked like he had a broken leg, Tommy.
Good signs for the Dockers as they've got this one well and truly in control. Nat Nui tries to take it out of the ruck himself. Goes and gets it, picks it up, hand passes inside. But Ryan's got it now for Freo and he just backs his way across the line. And it's deliberate. The umpire said he deliberately put the ball.
And 50 as well. He's abused the umpire too at the back of the line.
So look at Nelson swoop in.
Nelson's coming in for a quick kick. Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision.
He had pressure on him, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a bad decision by the umpire. So look at the Harvey Norman replay.
So Nelson's kicked the goal first off, members. So West Coast get their fourth, 4-4-28. The Dockers 9-9-63.
Okay, so Harvey Norman replay at the moment.
Oh, gee, he's under pressure.
Yeah,
here it is.
Oh, there was a play in between Nelson and Ryan.
You're allowed to do that. Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And the commentators go, often you hear, the players don't know the rule. But he knew the rule. He was 2 metres from goals and pressure was coming.
That's right. And he stepped back, knowing that he thought he knew the rule, and he's given away a free kick.
So the margin's 35 points for Bob Jane Teamards. Britt?
Alex Pearce back on now. He's been itching to get back on for the last 5 minutes. He's signalled to the boys, hurry up, let me get back out there, and he's finally back out.
Good on you, Brett. Thank you for Bob Chain Team Art. So that's terrific recuperative powers. Nick Nat in the middle. Can they finish this term the way they started it? Ball out of the middle. Ends up with Brayshaw again. Got it from Will Brodie. Pumps it long. Lob came with a big run. Not quite. Handball up to Foley. Came from Hearn out wide. Gee. No free. That was hanging in the air for a long time, and the mark's been taken inside defensive 50 by McGovern. They wanted a free kick out there. Thought they had one, West Coast. Didn't get one. Ball goes long through the middle from Petrocelli. Ryan! Oh, flying Ryan right up on top this time.
That was Ryan over Ryan as well.
And he's Babe Ruth it too. He's 50 out and going, I'm going for goal, baby.
Yeah, what a big Tory or something like this, I reckon, would be lovely.
He had an opportunity.
You know what? He's walking back and he's having a look at the big screen. So on the Harvey Norman replay, he's just had a look at himself take an absolute hanger.
Liam Ryan on Luke Ryan. Luke stands the mark. Liam with the kick. It's got some distance. Marked on the line.
You
Absolute coach killer.
Gee, it was a great mark, though. A great mark and a rare highlight for Fremantle in this, for West Coast in this game. And Cox, who took the saving mark, away he goes.
So Cox just heads towards the boundary. I'm not sure if that was touched, but the umpire says it was, so we'll throw it up 70 metres around from West Coast goal.
It's quite good fun, this calling the foot, isn't it?
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
We'll get you next week, or you don't mind your weekends?
Hang on a minute.
Lockie's just texted in. So doing a very good job, Baz.
The boundary throwing comes in. Nat Nui's just gone in high, I think. And the free kick's going to go to James Aish at half back here for Fremantle.
They've settled the storm here, Fremantle. West Coast certainly got out of the blocks, kicked the first two off this third quarter. They had a bit of momentum, but Fremantle, to their credit, they've just wrestled it back, and they've been certainly a better side so far in this game.
And of course, we've seen that mark a few times from Liam Ryan on the Harvey Norman replay. Need a new laptop or mobile or remote control like Baz.
Yes.
Shop Harvey Norman, we have all the big brands, as the Dockers have it on the near side wing. Brodie on hands and heels, just hand pass to Brayshaw. Hit by hand, goes back to Aish. Aish kicks it up to half forward. Gets over the back though, and Hearn gets it, and by hand finds Witherden, who goes to Rotham. Rotham comes back across the ground to Redden. He's dropped the sitter. His hand pass though finds Aish. Aish under pressure. Little step. That was clever by Aish. Comes back inside and finds Gaff. Gaff goes to McGovern. Bit of run now for West Coast. Tries to find Dixon. Bounces in front of him. Gets through towards Kennedy. Brayshaw's there. Can't pick it up. Nat Nui goes and gets it. Hand pass off. Here's with Nelson. Got ahead of himself. Went for 2 in the quarter from 50 out. Flower bag. It's gone out of bounds in the full.
That's almost gone behind him.
Yeah.
It's gone backwards nearly.
Probably just didn't realise how much time he had. He could have just straightened up, run to 40 and slotted it.
You reckon Alex Pearce didn't give him a mouthful too on the way through? So lobs the target here, but McGovern, good use of the body and favoured by the kick. Not a good one from him, no. Short. Neil Erasmus, what a debut it's been. He's looked so composed. The longer the game's gone on, the more at home he's been. We'll get his numbers in just a moment from the beast. Banfield out wide. Brayshaw again, just getting heaps of the footy. Gave it to Clark. Now a driving ball to Frederick. Frederick marks in front of Shannon Hearn, right on the boundary.
You see Erasmus run then? He was the first player back after kicking that ball. He beat every single West Coast player.
He's done well, up to 15 now, Baz, so he's been very good, and he's finding plenty of the football. How are you there, Beast?
Right, you just stepped in. About to throw to me there.
He mentioned it 3 times. I thought I'd just help you out in the fourth.
Trinity blokes.
It's still waiting for a gap because you morons keep talking.
Here's Frederick. He's kicked 1 goal so far this season. That one just drifting across the face. So it was a 34-point margin at half-time. West Coast started in electrifying fashion, but right now it is back to 36 points. So Fremantle every chance to win the quarter with 8 seconds remaining.
So Aish for the Eagles out of half back just kicks one along the boundary line. It hugs it and goes across the line. We'll throw it in
Brayshaw up to 17 now, so he's gotten off this quarter. Obviously, we talked about losing the tag, but worrying signs for West Coast on the Red Z Lending stats.
Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed as the Eagles win the tap forward. Aish picks it up. Just knocked out of his hands by Langdon. And there's the siren for three-quarter time. The Eagles started well that quarter. In fact, we might just stay with you. It looks like Switkowski might have hurt himself here.
Yeah, Gaff's got him high, I reckon, in this contest. He's having on replay, and he gone in for a tackle, and Gaff's...
he got the wobbly legs happening at two Embers and a big claret.
Yeah.
The good news is he's up. He's got a couple of trainers with him. Looks like he's got a blood nose, so... Trouble in the medical room for the Dockers. Of course, Darcy Tucker, then Alex Pearce, now Sam Spakowski. The Dockers lead by 36 points. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack today. Available from 10:30am.
Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA great, is heading to Australia for his tour presented by La Trobe Financial. And Triple M's giving away the ultimate package, but only to Triple M Club members. Shaq will personally share his tips for success and uncensored stories about his life on and off the court. To win an invite, plus meet and greet, join the Triple M Club for free at triplem.com.au. Thanks to La Trobe Financial and the Hour Group, NBA megastar Shaquille O'Neal will be coming to Melbourne Thursday, August 25. Tickets available at ticketek.com.au.
There has never been a better time to buy a shed. And if you want to buy a best shed, then you've got to get into Best Sheds. Buy now during their massive autumn sale for huge savings. Spend 10K, save 1,000. Spend 20K, save 2,500. Spend 40K and you'll save a huge $6,000. All Best Sheds are Australian owned and manufactured and come with a 20-year warranty. Don't miss out on the huge autumn deals at Best Sheds. Hurry, limited time only. Go to bestsheds.com.au.
Calvin joined Australian Unity's Hospital and Extras before 31 March, so he could score 6 weeks free health insurance. Now that his shoulder's been expertly massaged, Calvin can make the most of life's in-between moments, like perfecting his drum solo. That goes for 20 uninterrupted minutes. Join Australian Unity and score 6 weeks free health insurance. New members only. Membership must commence by 31 March. T's and C's apply.
Aussies have always made stuff. And some of our best work happens in our own backyard.
Oh, nice.
Just like our growing defence industries. Talented Aussies and private businesses working together to supply our Defence Force. At the same time, creating thousands of local jobs. To get involved, search Defence Industries Careers. Our future, made in our own backyard. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like creamy shepherd avocados, 100% Aussie and just $1.30 each. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
Moving house? Origin will smooth move your energy, like we do for hundreds of thousands of Aussies each year. Book online in just 5 smooth minutes. Search Origin Move or call 13 Move. Origin, where all good change starts. Eligibility criteria and terms apply. See originenergy.com.au.
Snowy was a legend of the bush. Every Easter, after setting up camp, a bunch of teenagers would roll up to party. And without a wink of sleep, he'd scale the biggest cliffs searching for Wi-Fi signal. All for Snowy's Easter camping and outdoor gear. Because you can't stop a legend from the lowest prices in Australia. Yes. Well, unless you're right next to a beehive. Snowies.com.au. Easter camping and outdoor gear for legends.
Can my landlord say no to a dog?
Do I need a lawyer if I have to go to court?
What happens if I go bankrupt?
Hi, I'm Amy Dow from the Law Society, and I get it. There are a lot of questions about the law. That's why in my new podcast, I chat with legal experts to get the answers in language that you will actually understand. No jargon, just straight to the point answers on everything, from neighbourly disputes to how much a lawyer might cost you. Search Lawfully Explained where you get your podcasts and download the Listener app now to listen for free. Listener.
Shut up! The footy's on
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
So the Fremantle Dockers lead by 36 points here at Optus Stadium. The lights are on. The Eagles started that final term quickly with goals of Petrocelli and Nat Nui, but the Dockers took over for that back half, and they've got a 36-point lead. Embers and Zave, if you had to pick the Ross Glendinning Adelaide medalist right now, who's getting it for Fremantle?
It's a really good question. That's where I love to throw to the Norm Smith medal himself.
There you go, specialist.
I think Will Brodie's actually gone. He's actually played a pretty good game.
You just went straight to the top of the disposal tally.
He's had 6 clearances, 5 tackles. He's had more possessions for Fremantle than any other player. 10 of those contested. So he's probably led the way. Brayshaw had a really good third quarter. But besides that, they've been pretty even. I've been really impressed with, certainly early on, Lloyd Meek I thought was really good. But there's no real players stood out. I thought
if Andy has a big quarter and has 12 or 13, he could win it.
He could win it.
He hardly touched it the first half. He could still end up with it, couldn't he? He gets 10 this quarter, and then Embers is easily swayed.
So what do you have in that third? He had 10 beasts?
10.
Yeah.
10, mate. So
Quickly downstairs.
Another 10, I reckon it'll be the money for you, Embers.
For Bob Jane T. Marks to Britt.
As the official word from Fremantle on Darcy Tucker is concussion, and Sam Swatowski starting on the field, so no worries with him after that bit of a scare just at the end of that last quarter.
There's some good news there for the Dockers with Sam Swatowski as Nat Nui wins it down to West. Little handball back to Edwards, but the mark's been taken by James Aish for the Dockers inside the centre square. Aish just runs and plays on. Gets away from Redden. His mark, turnover. It's been taken by Shannon Hearn.
I reckon West Coast could do with Jake Waterman just coming on now.
No, mate, Jesus Christ could be subbed on it, wouldn't help.
Hearn went short to Redden. Brayshaw made contact, but the umpire says it's a mark, and Redden takes it. Comes inboard, turnover footy though, and Schultz has got it. He wants to go quick.
Yes.
There's a Walters, but he's turned it over as well. And Shannon Hearn has another one in half back and goes wide with a long kick of the marks taken by Rotham. Rotham has Langdon on and finds him on the far side of the wing. We've got numbers inside here. One of them is Witherden. Witherden has it at half back.
A message from West Coast to take the corridor a bit more. It's almost like they want to take the ball through there, but they just haven't got the confidence to find a target.
No, or the ability.
So Witherden's kick's been turned over. Bounces in front of Chapman, and Chapman takes it across the line on the wing. We'll throw it in. The Dockers lead the way by 36 points. Just over almost 90 seconds gone here in the fourth term.
It's just the top 4 disposal getters for West Coast, please.
Hearn 23, which is never a good sign.
Yep.
He's right at the top. Gaff 20, only 1 in the second half so far. Witherden 19, mate.
Yep. Defender. 3 of the top 4 with McGovern under.
Look at Nick Nat. Just the big don't argue forward. Only as far as Young on defensive 50, who's handballed right over the line. That's going to be deliberate, and it is. Good pressure, West Coast. That was really well done. And Jermaine Jones refused to let Young get out of that zone. He's gone very short to Ryan, who kicks out of bounds on the full. That is unbelievable.
I don't think I've seen West Coast butcher the footy as much as they've done tonight. Long time.
They're out here too, Freo, if they want to get their skates on.
And they do. So Chapman, he went with a very, very clever kick that's released Clark. And now Akers also released. His ball out in front might be a little bit too much on this for Svitkowski. It's not Svitkowski. It comes back. It was Collier. They've done it okay. They're going to keep it alive. Schultz back again. The ball towards the top of the square. Not quite. Lob. Walters would love a goal. It's going to come across instead. O'Driscoll. Walters. Just can't get it, can he?
It could have had a good day today, Sonny.
Yeah.
Could have had a really good day. I think on another day, he would have kicked 3 or 4.
He's enjoyed a lot of space.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes that half-forward role, we know it's difficult to play, especially towards the end of your career when you lose a bit of pace. But West Coast defenders have just allowed their half-forward so much space today, and certainly Michael Walters has enjoyed a bit of freedom.
So out of defence, the Eagles with a long kick. It's been their plan all day to the outer side. Instead, Brayshaw just gathers at the back of the pack and comes across the ground with a beautiful kick and finds Akers, goes short and finds Collier inside the centre square for Freo. The margin's 37 points. Trav Collier been handy this evening with his speed. Goes long into a pocket. A host of players here. McGovern at the front just gets a spoil. Falls to the front of the pack. Edwards tries to tap it through from West Coast. Falls to Schultz. He's in a fresh area. Should have kicked a goal. Lockie Schultz. He can't, and Dixon's just tapped across the line.
There's a square up.
Square up.
So Edwards has tapped it towards the line. Witherden could have picked it up and let it go past him. It's gone through for a point. The umpire says that's deliberate, and now Lobb could snap a goal with his left foot.
That was more blatant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We'll have a look at it.
Witherden doesn't have to pick it up, does he?
He might have got a touch on it, and I reckon he let it roll through. Anyway.
Oh, he's kicked it out.
It's a lob.
Anyway.
Lobbed around. And that's an absolute shocker. Because it bounces in. It's still in. Schultz picks it up, but now he's tackled by Rothman across the line.
I'm going to have a beer tonight. I am. I tried not to, but I am.
I'll tell you what, if the East are watching this game at the moment, it's switched off.
Oh, no.
They've watched the showdown on Friday night.
Hawthorn today.
I know.
Beat Carlton in a blockbuster.
They've been laughing at us for a couple of years, and this pretty much sums it up.
He may have touched it. He sort of tracked it. You're right, Tom. Good call from you. And that was almost deliberate as well, but just a step over the line from McGovern. So have another look here.
So he's inside the...
You couldn't see it on that one as well as the other angle, actually.
I don't think it's deliberate either. You're inside the area, and how's he supposed to know what's around him?
Lob, by the way. The Harlem Globetrotters couldn't do what Lob did.
Nah.
He kicked it across the face, but not out of bounds on the full, and then Schultz hooked it back. Now, Walters, Taberner again, the two number 20s. McGovern went to ground, and Gaff rolling over the line. Gaff stuck on 20 disposals. Was it 19 at half-time?
Yes, it was.
Gee, so one disposal for the second half thus far, and we've played nearly 6 minutes.
So boundary throw in deep in the pocket here for Fremantle. Meek and Nat Nui. Gaff just taps it. That won't be a disposal. Brayshaw picks it up. He's been busy in the second half. Goes back to O'Driscoll. Right foot from O'Driscoll, top of the square. Meek can't mark it. Schultz picks it up. He's tackled strongly. It falls to the Dockers. And I think it's big Rory Lobb. He snapped it. The big Lobster's got his second. So good work there from Schultz. Found Lobb. Lobb in the square. Snapped it through. The Dockers have their 10th. 10-11-71. West Coast 4-4. 28. The margin is out to 43 points, and we've gone 6 minutes in the fourth term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Just been too good today, Fremantle. They've certainly out-hunted West Coast since quarter time, and just creating opportunities inside forward 50. Schultz been important. They just keep the ball alive. It hasn't been pretty, but that particular time, Lobb, he's got two. Taberner got two, and at the start of the game, if you ask your big two key forwards to stand up and play well in the derby, well, they'll play their part.
So Nat Nui and Meek. Nat Nui brilliantly down to Connor West, who came across the back half of the circle, down towards Darling, had too much on it. Cox, Ryan to the square, Pearce at full stretch. He lost Kennedy. Then a dummy handball around Langdon. That was very cleverly done. Kick towards defensive 50. West is in again here. He looks like one of those brothers that does the commentary highlights on Twitter. Darling from the pocket.
The ship boys.
Yeah, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Connor West. He's got the right hair.
Yeah, the shaggy hair, the bogan.
Yes.
Unwashed.
He looks like both brothers, actually.
Liam Ryan looks like he's either hurt himself or cramp, but it looks like it's just cramp at the moment. He's just having a seat.
So boundary throw in, Nat Nui over the top. Aish dives in. Gaff dives in on top of him. We'll throw it up.
Who is it? The Shep brothers, is it?
Shep mates.
Shep mates.
But they are brothers.
Yeah, they're very good.
So Nat Nui, left foot tap towards goal. Running back with Akers. He picks it up. Tackled strongly by Kennedy. Gets his hand pass away though. Picked up by Chapman. He's been busy this afternoon. And Brayshaw again. A beautiful kick and finds Bailey Banfield. The sub is on. He kicks over the top to try and find Schultz. Bounces once. Schultz picks it up. Strong tackle by Witherden. Got rid of it though. Schultz goes and gets the footy again. That's smart work by Schultz. Puts the Walker. Rothman puts the pressure on him. The Eagles going nice and tough here. There's going to be a free kick holding the ball. It's going to go against Jermaine Jones. And Freo, through Walker, will have the free kick at half forward.
I can see why Hawthorn went after Schultz. I said that last week. them chasing him, put his name in lights, and I've watched him closely. He's an absolute goer.
They offered him 4 years, I think.
And I would have paid that.
At a good age too, Lockie Schultz, as Ryan goes long into the pocket. It goes over the back of the pack, picked up by Banfield. That's a fresh airy. He's missed the ball, Bailey. And he's tackled strongly now by the Eagles through Naish. And Naish hand passes to Gaff. Gaff will finally get a touch and goes to Nelson. And the Eagles are out of trouble in defence.
Out they come, slowly to Naish. Not great. High ball, nowhere in particular. Well done by Chapman. Handball backwards. This is going to be okay. Banfield, Clark, they're all involved there. And then the ball back to Pearce, who looks to be A-OK now, doesn't he?
So, Caleb Sarong.
Yeah.
I'm told he's got a bit of a bone problem with his knee.
No.
A little chip out of the bone in his knee.
That's all right. It depends what it is. But you can play with Zembers with no chips and cracks and out of bones. It's just a matter of maybe settling it down.
Okay. Right.
I don't know what time frame they gave it, but little chips and cracks in bones aren't all.
There was some talk he'd be back next week.
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah, I haven't even looked into it, but it's sometimes those injuries can sound a lot worse than what they probably are.
Ryan, Clark, Cox, Walters. Speaking of little chips, there's been a lot of that in the last minute or so. Lockie Schultz has got it now just forward of the wing. Fremantle well and truly in control of Derby 54. And they're closing in on their 22nd Derby win. West Coast 32, Freo 21 before this result today.
I'd love to see Sonny get one in this quarter. He's worked hard.
Just feel like he deserves it. He's tried super hard, hasn't he? Chapman's long ball high, almost to Mark Meek at the back. Comes out to McGovern. Nelson hasn't been his cleanest day. Drives the ball to defensive 50. It's kept inside the field of play. So a high ball now coming back. Mark for Taberner, not quite. Walters. Now does he get it? Sonny! Sonny! Yes! There it is!
An absolute flower bag, but there it was.
It had nothing of the characteristic Sonny Walters snap
it
about it.
Spin once. I don't think it spun at all.
Oh!
Like a reverse torp.
Reverse torp.
One of the ugliest efforts you've ever seen from Sonny, but it went through and he got the goal he wanted.
Yeah, you'll take that. You'll take that. I think the celebration was it was relief more than anything.
It was.
Good on Sonny Walters. He hasn't stopped trying all day.
16 disposals, 3 clearances to go with the 1 goal. So not a bad day for him. He's been busy. He's been busy, boys, on the Red Z Lending stats.
Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed as Jake Waterman does a couple of run-throughs.
Just on the back of another turnover for West Coast. They butchered the footy. Turnovers today. Fremantle have scored 8 goals from West Coast turnovers.
Yeah.
West Coast haven't scored 1 goal from the turnover.
So who wins the medal, in all seriousness?
Well, Ember's mate Will Brodie hasn't touched it.
It's getting hard for him because about
I reckon little
20.
mate Lockie Schultz is
Schilder. Yeah.
He's
actually he's kicked 2 as well.
22.
There you go.
The Dockers end up with Collier. He goes short, and Bailey Banfield's got it.
Fresh legs from Bailey Banfield. He's certainly had an impact since he's come on.
Heath Chapman's had 21. Brayshaw's now gone to 22.
Anyone voting in here?
No.
Do we ever get asked?
I did the Derby last year, I think.
Craig O'Donoghue from the West is voting this year.
Yes.
One of a number.
Stood next to him.
Triple M should have a card. We pay the most.
Yeah, but
the biggest size box.
They listen to Embers give the votes every week, though, X.
No, you're right.
It go to anyone.
This won't ever circle back to us.
So Banfield from just inside 50 on the left goes long, and that's a beautiful kick from Bailey. So Freo have their 12th. This is done and dusted. It's been a miserable evening for the West Coast Eagles. Freo 12-11-83. The Eagles 4-4-28. 12.5 gone fourth term.
Yep.
Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And they're the Eagles supporters.
They're going home.
They are on their way home right now. You can sort of see that we'll get out there. We'll get the kids to bed.
Car park might be empty after the game.
It's always a good thing about West Coast Eagles supporters leaving early.
Hang on.
Embers means that we get home a bit earlier.
Hang on, Embers.
That's
What's that?
Embers could say that.
Or do you
That's
know,
fine. He's paid his dues.
Well, he has, yeah. Embers has, but...
And if you are watching TV tomorrow morning, I think someone in the box might be doing a live cross.
But hang on. Aren't you on holiday,
Oh,
Embers?
geez, I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
The Today Show.
That's right.
With Carl.
Yes.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Al Stefanovic, can you?
Imagine that.
Who's got into more trouble out of you two over the
Embers. We have to go live with that tomorrow morning, Baz.
We will.
We have to take the live
Good
cross.
humour for listeners in Perth or on the listener app.
Here he is.
Triple M Breakfast, Baz and Zay from
give him the medal.
5:30. So Schultz into the
Banfield.
pocket and Banfield's mark. Now, by the way, gentlemen, he's having a shot here. 45-degree angle. We're right behind it. And he'll kick from 40 metres. West Coast have not scored in this term. And we've gone 14 minutes, and they did not score at all in the second term.
And in two quarters, no score.
I tried to warn X that they started quick at the start of the game, and it seemed like they did that again in the second half.
So Petruccelli 6, Petrescu-Seaton 6, Langdon 7.
Banfield, sub, for his second goal. Doesn't come around enough. And that margin is at 56 points. Beast, you better start to look at when was the last time Fremantle had a big derby win? The big one.
They won by 15 points in round 22 last season.
That's not big.
And lost their last, I think, 11 before that.
So a long time is my point.
Yes.
I think from memory, 2015, there was a couple of blowouts both ways.
Well, you weren't. Where were you then?
No, there.
Yeah.
You played 2, yeah?
Then we got smashed by Freo early and then smashed them on return.
So West Coast, like they've done all evening, went long down the line, turnover ball, and now Freo have it through Erasmus to Walker. He goes short and finds Brayshaw just racking him up in this second half. Brayshaw into the pocket. Here's Frederick running with the fight of the ball, bounces into him, but he can't pick it up. And will throw it in right forward pocket for the Dockers.
They'll certainly take this, the Fremantle Dockers, won't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they were disappointing last week against St Kilda, and there was a few question marks on the back of that performance. A few people thought West Coast were a chance. Well, Fremantle have certainly been such a better side today. They deserve this victory.
Well, they're going to be 2-1, Ember.
Yeah, well and truly
2-1 to start the season. That 1 point win over Adelaide, and now looks even a little better.
So who have Freo got this week?
Giants at home, and then Essendon away.
Oh my goodness! That's out of bounds on the full.
Giants won't be easy away, but if they're to play finals this year, these are the sides that they've got to beat. So.
It's a standalone Saturday night game.
Oh, Jackson Nelson, no pressure on him, has kicked the ball out of bounds on the full. He has not had a good night.
He's done that a few times.
You surprised about that, Baz?
Well, not exactly. No. Sam Switkowski is in the first row.
He could kick this.
Now he emerges. From 45 metres out, outside the boundary, sets it up, lob can't mark.
Here he is.
Schultz to maybe ice the medal. Handball's back. Brilliant to Nathan O'Driscoll, and he's kicked another one for Fremantle. It's a 62-point lead. The Dockers have got Derby number 54 all wrapped up.
Well, he kicked a goal from a similar position last week. O'Driscoll coming on as a sub in his first ever game, and he's a left footer, and just got a good handball there. Schultze, he's been outstanding. Schultze, I reckon he's just done enough to probably get the medal. Another goal assist. He's had a big second half, and O'Driscoll, great finish.
Well, who do you reckon has come in from nowhere with the last time the Dockers had a big win in the Derby? Lockie Reid, listening to every word.
Of course.
Jeepers, Lockie. Round 10, 2012, 65 points.
Gee, what was the margin? I'll set Lockie a challenge.
Yeah, Lockie. Well, he's got nothing else to do.
Round 3, maybe 2015, Fremantle v West Coast, or at least the early games. Those goalless in the first half, I reckon.
Keep sending them through, Lock. You and the Beast. Come on, fill your boots here.
So the Dockers get the clearance. The West Coast get the turnover, and the kick comes out wide to Petruccelli. He's been barely sided this evening. The good news for Freo is they're 2-1. Their percentage right now is 126.9, which puts them in 5th. So Naish has it for the Eagles inside 50. Over the head of Dixon. Ryan can't mark. Goes in hard as Liam Ryan. And he's collected his Dockers opponent high. It's going to be a free kick. James Aish is down. He's holding his face.
Yeah, the umpire actually said play on from that particular bump. It was not that bump, which you thought it might have been. Harvey Norman replay. Ryan went really hard at Aish. Just having a look at it at the moment. They both go in really low. Umpire did call play on from the contest, though.
Triple M, Harvey Norman replay, of course. Need a new laptop or mobile shop, Harvey Norman. We have all the big brands, thanks to Harvey Norman. The Dockers through Brennan Cox. A pretty solid return to the team. Cox goes out wide and finds O'Driscoll. Nice looking left foot. And finds Walker.
I've got that game in 2015. At quarter time, the Eagles were 4 points. Fremantle kicked 9 goals, 2.
2. Is that from Lockie?
No, that was just from me.
Oh.
So the biggest one
back
ever was 2010, 75 points, Freo win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So it was round 18 in 2010. Locks one was second biggest ever.
Akers has run onto this footy. Terrible from West Coast. They've turned it over again, and Taberner in the goal square plays on and kicks goal number 3. Matty Taberner's got 3, and Fremantle lead it by 68 points.
Oh, jeez. I'm not sure.
Nash,
Fremantle
was it?
been outstanding, haven't they?
Fill
West
your boots
Coast
now in Brisbane.
so bad.
A lot of these have been handed to them. I mean, Nation's kicked sideways. That was straight back to Fremantle.
Yeah, but you got to fill your boots. You're playing against a team that cannot get near a target. Absolutely pile on in now.
You've got Foley running through the middle of the ground and wants to again just go sideways and just kick the ball up in the air, loop to loop. I've never seen West Coast use the footy so poorly.
Yeah.
I actually thought West Coast were probably half a chance of winning this game, and certainly when you had a look at the odds they were $1.70 favourites to win. Well, we've all been absolutely, flabbergasted by this result.
Apologies to Luke Foley, to Patrick Nash then. That was Luke Foley with the terrible kick, and Lockie just absolutely working overtime now. So 75 points, round 18, 2010 is Freo's biggest winning margin in a
I just said that.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm getting the confirmation because Lockie's feeling a little. He's got a bit of FOMO at the moment. He's got a lot of FOMO.
Lockie, send him to my phone, please.
Yeah. And he's day 5 into quarantine.
And he'll get it on day 7.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that hurts.
So Kennedy's just had a shot on goal from 45 and it's run across the line. The umpire's going to throw it in.
So that margin is in jeopardy, though, definitely. Yes. So their third biggest was 57 in 2006, round 21.
It's a bad time for the barista-made coffee ad from Hungry Jack's on the scoreboard when Nick Nat and Shannon Hearn are hammering it up. It doesn't look good when you're 68 points down.
The boundary throw in Nat Nui, still working hard on the left. Snaps, big Nick Nat. Doesn't go very far. Dixon tries to take the mark. Instead it's taken by Erasmus. He's been really good on debut. The Subiaco Colts player. Only played 4 games at Colts last year. Wanted to focus on schools. Neil Erasmus.
Yes.
Up to 17 disposals now, Tommy.
But played school footy, I assume.
Yeah, for Hale.
Yeah, so when we grew up, school footy just took precedence anyway. Yeah.
So Dockers make it their way out of defence. Petrescu Seaton goes in. He's been barely sighted. Tackle comes from Brody. And it's going to be a free kick to Petrescu Seaton.
So, official crowd, 38,920 here today. And I reckon 20 of those 1,000 have just probably left.
So, SPS, the former blue bagger, just goes short at the front of the pack. Aish can't take the mark. Petruccelli tries to burst his way through. Walker's got him. Clark picks it up for Freo. Big tackle from Petruccelli. It's spilled out. Ryan off the ground. I think he's kicked it.
A few Fremantle players thinking that they might have touched this.
So you think it's going to be a score review. And of course, Mike's we are mic'd up exclusively for Triple M.
Right, of course. That's got under, hasn't it?
Yeah, on the goal line, Young maybe.
I think it got underneath Cox. So Ryan's just kicked it from about 3 metres out, underneath Brennan Cox, and Hayden Young might have touched it on the line.
Inconclusive, I reckon.
Yeah. Give him a
Hard
goal.
to overrule this.
Oh, hang on.
So just waiting for the umpire to let us know what happens. A double banger. Might have hit Cox's chest or Young's finger.
If I was Fremantle, I'd really want this not to be called a goal. And keep them goalless in 2 quarters.
Yeah. Just make a decision and move on, huh? It takes far too long, surely.
Yeah, well, it was designed to stop clangers.
Yeah, not these ones.
Howlers.
Does it hit Cox's chest?
This would not be a howler either way.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
Don't waste your time.
Sufficient evidence to say whether the ball has been touched.
Just like you said, Baz.
Goal count.
All right. So the goal will count there for West Coast. That's their 5th. They go to 5-4-34. This game is all but over, though. 24 gone in the 4th term. Let's go downstairs for Bob Jane teammates to Britt Taylor.
Well, just in the concluding minutes, Embers, your man, Jake Waterman, has been subbed on for Jermaine Jones, who looked like he had maybe a bit of a lower leg injury. We'll keep an eye on the word out of the Eagles camp for that. But Jake Waterman on in the final few moments.
Hey, Brett, I've got a challenge for you, mate. Get a Fremantle player within the first 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, good luck.
Of course, Bob Jane teammates. Buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Goodyear, Dunlop, and legendary all-rounder bobjane.com.au. Nice time heading into Easter, Baz. Get your tyres all fixed up.
You've got to.
You'll be heading down south, of course, for
thinking
Easter.
of a little drive.
One of those little Range Rovers that heads down south.
2008. It's the oldest Range.
It almost flies. You should see it. It almost flies.
Yes.
It is a Range Rover, but it's very, very old.
Yeah.
Lockie's non-stop now.
Is he
just
he
floating down?
must be bored.
Is he giving you stuff, Beastie, or is he?
That's radio silence.
The Beast has got his own computer, though.
He's caused a blue now without even being here.
Will Brodie into the ground in that tackle. That would have hurt so bad.
Meanwhile, ball down towards full forward. That's a good mark. McGovern.
Locke actually said he's not reading the credits anymore. Actually, Tommy, he said that's you from now on.
Oh, great.
It's all over the shop. Not happy with this. And Naish, slow to get up and get the footy. Now they get their hands on it cleanly. The little kick around the corner is going to be okay. Petricelli just marks in front of Brodie.
Gee, their pressure's been good, Freo. It's been a pretty ordinary game of football, but they're trying to cash in as they turn over another one.
Even when there's been no pressure, West Coast has just turned the footy over.
Brayshaw up to 25. He could nearly win the medal for a half.
It's got to be Lockie Schultz.
Imagine if he didn't get tagged the first half. He'd be heading towards 50.
Schultz out wide, Young. Now the ball driven towards full forward. Lob, that's soft. Should have marked that. He was such a good contested marker. His marking's not with Fremantle what it was at the Giants. And Young marks the clearing kick from West Coast just backward of the wing. They'll reload again.
Hayden
Middle
Young.
of the ground.
What are the Red Zeds on Hayden Young, Beast? He was racked him up last week.
Yeah, he did. Career best last week, Tommy. 15 disposals tonight, so a bit quieter, but not bad.
Here's Walker done a couple of nice things this evening. Just runs past his opponent in Liam Ryan and goes short and finds Frederick. Is that a Freo chant?
Yeah. There's 8 people, but they're into it. Good on them. Well done.
As Frederick goes long inside 50 at the back of the pack here is Witherden by hand. Ends up with Redden. He's been busy and he's turned it over. Straight to Brayshaw, who dropped the sitter, but he's good enough to go and get it again. Gives it to Akers. He crosses the ball inside 50. Swikowski just paddles it and goes and picks it up. Switter, elite! And there you go, Lockie Reed. Your man elite picks it up. Swikowski. And the Dockers have their 15th. 15-12, 102. West Coast 5-4-34. Getting close to that record margin base. Of course, on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every trade job easier.
Ember's far too good. Fremantle today, 68 points, absolutely annihilating West Coast. Your West Coast coaching staff, what do you do this season? Do you keep going with Hearn and Kennedy? And
Well, you look at the last 2 weeks, and
they're probably
unfortunately,
wishing JD
West Coast have just had no players to choose from with so many injuries, so many rotations. How many changes this week again? 12. So 14 on the back of 14 last week, 12 this week. They've got no continuity whatsoever. Unfortunately, all their A-graders are no longer A-graders. Okay, they're great names. They've been terrific. They've played outstanding football. But
so what do you do with them?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to give these young kids a go now. I mean, you can almost 3 games in and their season's done. Like, they're not going to play finals, so got to give their kids an opportunity.
Ball long down towards Darling. Well, this will be absolutely consolation prize stuff, but unfortunately for Jack, there's about 8 West Coast fans left here. So we're never really going to know what sort of reception he was truly getting. But he's marked it in the square. And Jack is back.
Not a great ovation, Basil.
Yeah.
A little bit quiet. They're just a polite cheer.
Not many left.
Not much to it.
Did his teammates get around him there? Were you watching?
Yeah, no, they've obviously welcomed him back. But you can see, and they say, miss pre-season, you'll miss the season. And Darling hasn't done anything. Last week or this week.
Yeah, that's right. Dixon, it was well done to Petruccelli. Petruccelli, long kick, favoured Darling, and nice mark in the square. Now, Beastie, West Coast are 6-4-40. What is their lowest score in a derby?
Well, it's actually the game that Locke mentioned, the one that Freo won by 65. They totaled 48 points in that one.
48?
Atlantic Stats.
So they need another 8 points.
There's a couple of records up for grabs here.
Ream Hot Water, built for tough conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. West Coast by 62 points.
Nice little alley-oop from Baz then.
Committee, got to look after him.
Now, Beast, I need to know,
Baz.
Lloyd just got that clearance. What's he at? Has he got his career high yet or not?
Oh, he's going to be close now.
So the Eagles
He
by
was close
hand.
5 minutes into the first
Yeah,
quarter.
he was, but no, he's sitting on it. He's equal.
Come on, Lloyd.
Come on, Lloyd. Here's Jack again. He's marked it.
Oh, look at Jack.
50 out. So Jack could have 2 in 60 seconds. Instead, he goes short to Kennedy.
What was that line? No pre-season, missed the season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here you go.
In terms of form.
Whose was that? Was that
The fitness coaches used to say it. At the end of the year, they go, oh, you had a pretty ordinary year. Let's go back and level at your pre-season. Oh, you didn't do much. Oh, it's a surprise you didn't play a good year.
I'll give you a test, Embers.
Yes.
You can answer it after this kick from Kennedy. 3 players out there have won Ross Glendinning Allen medals.
The new one?
Yeah, the
New medal. Or any medal?
Any of them.
Yeah. You want me to know the 3?
Only 3. That's
Shannon Hearns won 1.
He's won 3.
Brayshaw's won 1.
No, he hasn't.
Luke Ryan?
No, he hasn't. As Kennedy goes back and kicks it straight through.
Oh, wow.
The Eagles 7th. So Shannon Hearns won 3.
Yep.
Someone else from the Eagles has won 3.
Was it that bloke?
It was. So
Kennedy,
Josh Kennedy's got 3.
Yep.
And one other player has 1.
Which club?
Actually, I think my notes are wrong. I think I had Elliot Yeo down and he's not playing. But 2.
Only 2.
Only 2. So Elliot Yeo wasn't out there. Tim Kelly had 1 and Caleb Sarong won last year. He's not
won
playing.
last year, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
West Coast 7-4-46, so 2 points away from avoiding. Well, another 2 points would be equal to their lowest score in a derby. 3 points and they clear that zone, and they will want to clear it. But it's been very disappointing from West Coast. They've looked disjointed, the sort of disjointed football I guess you get when half of your team changes one week and then another half of the team changes again the following week. But they did have a better side in this week, and this performance is way below par, even accounting for all of those changes. Petruccelli, long out of the middle. They're getting a bit of glory time late here, and Darling's got a free kick. Is the advantage paid? Langdon did well to hold up, and Jack Darling from almost directly in front. 40 metres out, he'll be 45 when he kicks. So to avoid that lowest score in a derby and to announce his arrival, well, not really announce it, but you know what I mean. He's back. He'll be back with a second goal.
Petruccelli's just given West Coast a little bit of speed since going on ball. At times in the second half, they're just looking for options. The Eagles just get belted out of the midfield. And unfortunately, they just haven't had a good day at all.
Let's listen to the crowd. What sort of a cheer does he get? They kicked a point.
It was louder than the goal.
He got a good cheer from the Freo supporters behind the goals.
They went up and up. They were going, oh, we love you, Jack.
A Bronx cheer.
That margin is still in play,
Still alive,
boys.
Baz. It's still alive.
Remind us, what is it again?
48. They're at 47 now.
Look at these West Coast heroes behind us, Tommy. They're praying that West Coast can score another 2 points.
No, I'm a Hawthorn supporter now.
So Aish has it in the back pocket for Freo.
Last minute, Tom.
Yeah, 45 seconds to go.
That could be a record low margin, a low score for West Coast in a derby.
So Lockie Reed told me this is the first derby he's missed in 15 years.
Well, he's missed a good one.
Needs to get out more. As Aish has it in the back pocket for the Dockers. Comes up and Dixon takes an uncontested mark.
22 seconds, Tom.
Here we go.
Was it 48?
Yes, 48.
They need.
As Dixon goes inside 50. Over the back is Kennedy. Can't take the mark. Darling lays the tackle.
Too high.
Fremantle free kick. So it's going to be a record low score, Baz.
Can you believe this?
You come into the box, West Coast low score. The records have been broken for all the wrong reasons for the Eagles this evening. As Chapman, who's been really impressive this evening.
He has. 21 he finished with.
Yeah, down the line. And the Dockers have won Derby 54. They've given the Eagles an absolute hiding. 15-12, 102. The West Coast 7-5-47. The margin 55 points.
West Coast lowest score ever in a derby, and Jamie Graham has coached both teams to wins.
So Tabadar got 3, Frederick got 2, so did Lobb and Schultz. Walters, O'Driscoll, Banfield, Akers, Wachowski and Collier all got 1 for West Coast. JK got 2, and singles for Darling, Nelson, Natanui, Petrotroli and Liam Ryan. So only 7 goals for West Coast. Freo got 15, in Derby 54. It's now 32 to West Coast. Fremantle moved to 22 Derby wins.
Text message from you and Giles. Great call, boys. Really enjoyed it. I think Tom's been excellent in the hosting role without Lockie. Maybe we'll keep him right until the end just to see how he goes with the post-match. Baz, you go if you want. That's kind.
Anything about doing early breakfast?
No, he says it'd be good if X and Embers could stay and help Tommy through the last little bit.
Tommy's been very good today, and Baz has stepped into Lockie's shoes, done a very good job.
There's only one Lockie.
Lockie's a star.
Who does the on-ground here? Andy Brayshaw's got the interview. You got tagged in the first
What
half.
about who does the interview? Will Schofield just taking Pav's territory on the Fox?
I think Pav might be more than happy to hand this
really?
and stuff. I think
and I'm just tipping that Will might be quite happy as well.
What do you mean?
I think he'd enjoy the opportunity to continue to develop his skills.
You're a long time retired, so you've got to make the most of these opportunities. And good on you, Will.
He's making the most of his
He is.
opportunity.
Yeah, he's certainly getting out
We're
and
going to
about.
interview or not there, Leachy.
Let's
head down to Andy Brayshaw, thanks to Fox Footy.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. It's actually my first Derby win, so I missed out on the one last year, but yeah, it's my 5th year here at the club now, and that's the first one I've been a part of. Pretty special young group as well, so we're really proud.
A hard-fought battle with Jackson Nelson in the first half. Must have been nice to get off the leash in the second and get a bit of ball in your hands.
Yeah, it came to me pretty hard in that first half. I had a lot of help from my teammates blocking for me and helping me out, and then, yeah, lucky to get off the chain a bit in the second half.
What was the big focus? You at stages disappointing last week against St Kilda. How did we go into this game against West Coast?
We really wanted to be brave with our ball movement. We thought last week we were quite safe, going long down the line a fair bit. This time, when we got a turnover, we looked corridor, we looked open side, and we really shifted their defence because they're a really strong roll-around defence. McGovern loves taking grabs, so we tried to work it away from him, and I think that opened up a lot of space for our forwards.
I thought Lord Meek was good in the ruck against Nick Natanui, one of the premier rucks after losing Sean Darcy. How did you see it? You were the one underneath
Lord
him.
Meek, he's amazing. He works really hard. This pre-season's been a huge body of work for him. So for him to come out and really, run around with Nick Nat and really give it to him in that first half when it was really hot. Credit to Nick Nat, his gun, but Mickey put up his own and, really proud of him.
Great job, mate. Good win. Go well.
Thank you. Cheers.
Andy Brayshaw there, thanks to Fox. This is the Triple M Amy review. Who covers clangers on and off the field? Amy does. And some good news. I'm pretty sure that's Darcy Tucker down there. He's got
where are we looking?
He's got the Dockers shirt on. He's got a mask on, so it's hard to tell.
Hat
back front. So I'm almost certain that's Darcy Tucker out there now.
That would be a fantastic result because we saw the vision where he virtually just collapsed.
And I think we're not far away.
It does look Darcy Tuckerish, doesn't it?
From the presentation, Borry, Carl Langan's down there. We'll hear the winner of the Glendinning
So who are we thinking here?
Allen Medal.
Schultz.
Thinking Lockie Schultz?
Yeah,
I'd say Schultz.
Fremantle Dockers on their comprehensive victory in Western Derby number 54 here today. This game has been proudly supported by the RAC, and they've been doing some brilliant work in our community, as we all know, for 116 years. Today, first, we are going to award the Glendinning Allen Medal to the best on ground. Today, your voters were Sharad Wellingham from the ABC, Craig O'Donoghue from the West Australian and Matthew Pavlich from Fox. The votes are Craig O'Donoghue, 1 vote. Andrew Brayshaw, 2 votes. Shannon Hearn, 3 votes. Lockie Schultz. Matthew Pavlich, Fox, 1 vote. Lockie Schultz, 2 votes. Shannon Hearn, 3 votes. Heath Chapman. And Sherrod Wellingham from ABC Radio, 1 vote. To Clark, 2 votes. To Andy Brayshaw, and 3 votes to Lockie Schultz. Your Ross Glendenning medalist is Lockie Schultz.
Is going up to get his medal. Gets it from Ross Glendenning. I think we'll hear from him now. Bit of a thank you speech to the fans.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Eagles boys. We respect you a lot. Your neighbours down the road and always up for a good hit out. So thanks and wish you all the best for the rest of the year. To our boys, awesome fight. We had a lot to take out of last week. It was a disappointing loss, and to respond the way we did today, I think we can all hold our heads really high. Finally, to the fans, we love yous, we play for yous. Thanks for coming out today. We look forward to playing in front of you again next week. Cheers.
Lockie Schultz takes
Lockie,
the
great game, mate.
Glendenning
I think he had something
Allen
like
medal.
11 score involvements today, so it was an awesome game, mate. Well, he truly deserved.
Sort of up and about
now
a bit.
I'd like to call on the RAC Group Chief Executive Officer, Rob Slocum, to present the RAC Derby Trophy to the Fremantle Dockers.
Alex Pearce is going to accept it.
Yeah. Good to see you got back out there, Alex Pearce.
It might be sore tomorrow, but do we do a speech?
I think we are.
Right. A couple more minutes.
Once again, thanks to the whole Eagles squad. It's been a really tough few weeks for you blokes, but you've really dug in, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the season. To our boys, we've had our challenges as well, but we really dug in this week, and it was a great team effort. To all the fans here tonight, it's great to see so many here supporting both sides after the last couple of years, so thank you all.
It is great to see crowds. It is fantastic to see crowds back at the footy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the RAC Derby.
All right, so Lockie Schultz gets the Glendenning Allen medal. 8 votes for Lockie Schultz, 4 for Shannon Hearn, 3 for Heath Chapman, 1 for Brayshaw and 1 for Clark. The PAV gave Chapman 3.
Yeah, I thought Chapman was good, but I think definitely 3 votes.
Well, he was
Lockie
outvoted
Schultz,
wasn't he?
was probably the best player on the ground. I certainly wouldn't argue with that.
No, I agree. Lockie Schultz. And what about when Carl was reading out Sharrod's Clark? Sherrod had been in Sydney all of last week for Bud's 1,000, so I'm not sure he's blowing 00 yet.
I think he might have had 1,000 too.
So Clark had 21 and 7.
No, I think it was at dartboard. I think if you had Schultz in there, you're probably on the money, and then whatever folded underneath that. Shannon Hearn, 27 disposals, 12 marks. But whenever you see the halfback and defenders for West Coast, Witherden, McGovern, Nelson, all in the upper end of the disposals, you know they've chipped the ball backwards, sideways, and everything in between. It's just watching Sonny Walters. What's he doing? Going to hand a hat out over the other side of the ground. Good on him.
That's definitely Darcy Tucker out there, so that's great news.
Mate, I thought he'd done some really serious damage to himself, Darcy Tucker. Like permanent sort of.
Saw some vision.
Yeah.
So he actually stood up after the hit and then almost
there he is
collapsed.
on TV as we speak.
Yeah.
So great to see him out there. And
goodness, that was frightening.
And Beastie, Neil Erasmus, sorry if I missed it, but his stats on debut, because I thought he was very, very accomplished.
He finished with 18, Baz, 18 disposals, 2 clearances, 1 inside 50, so he's busy all that, and 5 tackles as well. So.
And this is where Baz declares he went to school with his dad.
When
we need to pump him up with opportunities.
How many times when X is coaching the Hale School First 18 on one of those lucrative contra arrangements, will he be bringing Neil Erasmus back to take a Thursday night?
And I'll speak to the children, the young students about Neil's debut, and I was there for it.
You know, Ember's coached Trinity last
Yeah, I
year.
certainly do. And
I actually coached against Hale when Neil Erasmus played.
Right.
And?
Hale beat Trinity by 100 points. And Erasmus had about 35 and kicked about 4. And I think we go,
You got
this kid can play. Yeah, he can play.
And Jared Wellingham still left him out of the vote.
I know. Well done. No, he was Neil Erasmus is going to be a good player, and
they've still got who else they draft?
Matt Johnson and Jai Amos.
Jai Amos and never miss. They call him. Doesn't miss a set shot.
Am I allowed to go now?
No. Oh, you're going to hand in? You want to hand an invoice here?
10% off.
Gee.
Oh, if it's only 10%, I'm out too.
Of course, we're here from McDonald's. Feed the whole team with a Macca's 40-piece chicken and nuggets pack today, available from 10:30. Bazzy, we promise to drive through McDonald's.
Yes, well, actually,
because the kids are here.
Ava and Chloe are here. Have you had enough to eat, girls? No, you'd like some McDonald's on the way home.
There you go.
If you got a 40-piece, how many would you get through and the kids?
Chloe loves the nuggets.
So just have a look at Neil Erasmus at the moment. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when Neil Erasmus got picked up at number 10, right, the audio, well, maybe see if you can get it, Leachy, for us, but there was this massive, big, just, like the boys went mad, all the Hale boys. Neil Erasmus. Neil Erasmus. Well, that's exactly what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
He's gone over to all his mates and he's just taken a selfie and they're all just chanting, Neil Erasmus.
Yeah.
Neil Erasmus.
I hope Kane Corns didn't see it.
No, let's play on.
No, good on you, mate.
With your mates. Ginnivan, not a big fan of the haircut last night, but if your mates are here and how good is it to see that they love the moment as much as what Neil's loved the moment today?
Well, they were playing. Did they play Scotch in effectively the final of the All-Co Cup?
I'm not sure.
Scotch won it, I think.
Yes,
but less than a year ago they were playing the All-Co Cup,
organising schooling,
and it's a journey, for all those guys, and they're all really good mates.
Yeah, well done.
No, that's outstanding. He'll enjoy that. His first win.
Did you see Kane's tweet yesterday, though, after Collingwood got rolled? Who's got the GoPro tonight, guys?
Very sharp, of course. Nathan O'Driscoll, he'll be in the middle as well. His first...
he kicked another nice goal as he did the
same spot.
Same spot, same celebration.
Yeah. Interesting, Andrew Brayshaw just saying that was his first Derby win.
Yeah, amazing.
Who would have thought?
He was suspended in round 22 last season.
Yeah, that's right. He missed that win that they had. But, you just would have thought that Andrew Brayshaw's played in plenty of Derby wins, but it just shows that West Coast have obviously had a good record against them in recent times. But Fremantle worked hard to win the last two.
But nobody came here thinking Fremantle, West Coast would be held to their lowest Derby score in 54 Derby.
No.
54.
I've just gone through the last 4 quarters, and I can't remember Jordan Clark's name being called once. And Sharrod slipped him a vote. Let's head down. Fremantle song, thanks to Fox Footy.
Neil Erasmus and Nathan O'Driscoll in the middle.
Yeah, got a bit of Gatorade on him. At Hawthorn with banned Gatorade showers. Remember when, what was that show called where they gave out Tool of the Week? Before the game, after the game, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Tool of the Week. Liam Shields' first game. He got drowned. I'm talking over the top. Yeah, drowned. Yeah. Anyway, he missed the next week and it said flu. No more Gatorade showers. Bad look. We're pegging them at him, but no more Gatorade showers at all.
No masks in the song this week.
It good. But you've just dry humped each other for 2.5 hours.
I agree, but...
And then put the mask on to sing a song.
Numbers down 3 days in a row.
Is it?
Trend is your friend.
How's the City of Perth looking?
Looking amazing.
Yeah.
I was in there today, went to the Paw Patrol at RAC.
Oh, you were part of that mob. I saw that.
Mob, yeah.
Jeez, you're woken the beast up to me.
It's my strength.
Oh, the beast has woken up. So why is woken up, Beastie? Let's give us your Red Z Learning stats.
Let's do it. So leading the way for West Coast was Hearn, 27. Gaff had 25. Witherden, 23. He finished with Nick Nat, 35 hit-outs, 7 clearances, 1 goal for him. But some records they do not want. Only the 3rd time in club history they've started 0-3. Last times were in 89 and 2010. Lowest total in Western Derby history at 47 points and gave up 11 goals from turnover today as well. And for Freo, leading the way was Brayshaw with 26, 6 inside 50s, 512 metres gained for him. Schultz, the man of the match, 23 disposals, 2 goals. Brodie, 23 and 8 clearances. Akers, 22 with 1 goal. Chapman and Erasmus Chapman rather had 22, Erasmus 18 on his debut, as we spoke about. So a great day for him. Taberner 3 goals, Frederick and Lobb 2 goals apiece as well. And that 55-point win is the 4th biggest margin in Derby history for Freo, winning margin that is. So good day for them. Some records set and some bad ones set for West Coast on the Triple M at Red Z Lending stats for the night.
Thank you, Beast. Choice Hotels around the ground early today. Carlton by 1 point. Your old mob, the Hawks.
Yes.
Impressive.
They are going well. They could have easily thrown the towel in today when they were 41 points down, I think it was early, 41 points.
Yeah.
Carlton looked like they were going to roar 70,000 at the G, and they're just playing a good brand of footy. Tom Mitchell and O'Meara aren't spending much time in the midfield, or as much time as they were. The kids are in there. And then the sprinkling of Gunston and Bruce and those guys are playing good footy. And, of course, seeing James Sicily, who I think is their best player, back from an ACL and one of the best defenders in the competition. Back's also really good for the Hawks.
Looks like he hasn't missed a beat, Sicily.
Yeah,
Like normally they say, your ACL is a 2-year injury, you're out, and then obviously a year to get your confidence back. But he's just he's playing beautifully and moving really well.
Your man, Denver.
Granger was really good today. Denver Granger Brass was outstanding. I'm going to say outstanding. He's still obviously getting taken to pieces at times as a key defender. That's what happens. But young WA boy from Swan Districts, high draft pick. I think they think he has a very, very bright future ahead of him. Still only slight, but marks it well, kicks it well. And the world's his oyster in terms of what he might do over the next 10 years.
And the other game today, St Kilda just ran over the top of Richmond.
That must have been a 50-point swing nearly.
Yeah.
Must have been 50. Yeah.
33-point win in the end for the Saints, and the Tigers could be in a bit of trouble. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. Hopefully we'll go downstairs shortly and get an interview with the Dockers. If they don't take too long, Embers, we know you have to head off.
Do I?
Do your prep
I've
work.
Got the day off tomorrow.
So tell us about the Today Show. What do they do?
I'm not sure.
Is it just into Perth or is it into...
It'll be a Perth. Yeah.
I
don't think
pretty
people
big name.
around
No, I
the
know,
country
I
at the
know.
moment are too keen to hear what Embers has got to say about
Have you been emailed the topics yet?
our economy.
So you get sent the topics beforehand.
Do we?
And I think you think it's going to be your football, don't you?
Oh, mate, they can ask me questions about COVID.
Yeah, that's what I love about you, mate. You're so diverse.
Absolutely. Well, you have to be,
Yeah,
You're
you're nimble.
Besides footy,
Yep.
what are your top 3 subjects if you got to pick what to speak about?
I don't mind talking about
Potter's Low down south.
horses.
The boat shed.
Hippie club. Can speak about
And when did you
good
stop hitting
nightclubs
hippie club?
to hang out in Perth. No, I haven't been out for a while. Actually.
No, when you were playing, did you continue hippie
No,
club?
Hippie
throughout?
Club was one of those ones where you sort of, if you're having a real good one, Hippie Club was the kind of place I was happy to sort of head out, 1, 2 in the morning, and just sort of pop in and have a little look.
Say good day
to a couple of locals, you know.
Maybe when you're running out of options.
Well, that's
And,
right.
and, then, and then post that is
beggars can't be choosers.
was always Geisha, wasn't it?
The Geisha Bar, spent a bit of time
that's when
there.
you know you've been out too long.
And then when you're really desperate on a Sunday night, casinos don't join open after midnight. So we go pot, Club Bayview, casino, training Monday morning.
Hey, who was the weakest link? Who was the one you worried about on the Monday morning?
I'll tell you what, when you've got Cuz and Curry rocking up in taxis to Monday morning training sessions, geez, we had some fun.
Yeah, but was there a player that was the weak link in terms of would always wake up dusty, or everyone just powered on?
Oh, Curry was the one.
Curry
was the one where you had to sort of, make sure that
someone rang
you set
Curry?
a couple of alarms. Anyone seen Curry? Someone go pick him up and bring him in.
Yeah, gee, he was a good player, wasn't he? Daniel
He
Kerr.
sure was.
So the ladder right now, so Brisbane are on top. So 4 teams undefeated. Brisbane with 12 points from Melbourne, Carlton and Hawthorn. The Dockers slip into 5th. So 2 and 1.
Well done. Yeah, that 1 point win over Adelaide, which was a Chapman spoil from being a loss.
Yeah.
Big difference from sitting 1 and 4 and 1 and 3, 1 and 2 after 3 rounds. Sorry, and beating up a West Coast side as opposed to sitting 5th. That's a good effort by them.
Hope the Giants next week.
to.
So
They couldn't consolidate it last week after a good win in Adelaide. They got dacked by St Kilda. Now they need to consolidate it next week.
So David Mundy should come back. So he's doing his...
he's done a double dose.
He's done a double dose of ISO. Sean Darcy, you think, would play.
Well, he's trying to get up this week, yep. No Fife, obviously.
No Fife. And Caleb Sarong is, depending how bad that chip the bone in his knees. So if you add Mundy, Sarong and Darcy back into that side, because they dropped Hamling.
That's right.
And they dropped
Griffin Logue as well.
Logue.
Yes.
And the other one is Sam Sturt, I think, kicked a bag in the waffle yesterday.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago against Essendon in round 1. He showed
Four or
it
something.
and sort of
He's been injured for a couple of seasons
since then. Yeah.
The bad news was Liam Henry injured himself.
Yeah.
But
I think we find out a bit about Fremantle over the next 3 weeks. So West Coast were horrible, okay? In the first week against Adelaide, they did a very good job. Could have lost that game. They found a way to win. Obviously, they were well beaten last week by St Kilda. So if you're preparing against Fremantle, you look at what St Kilda did, put them under pressure. But they've got Giants this week at home, okay? So that game could go either way. Then they've got Essendon away at Marvel, okay? You never know with the Bombers at home, and then they come back and play Carlton here. So I think over the next 3 weeks, we'll just find out a bit more about the Fremantle Dockers. But certainly tonight, against a really poor West Coast team, they just put the Eagles to the sword.
They're going to need some more midfield depth. If you look at that Giant side, Taranto, Cornelio.
You're forgetting number one, mate.
Our man Tom Green running through there.
Yeah. And you have a look at, so you know what's going to happen this week,
Yeah.
right? De Boer's going to go to Brayshaw, and De Boer's not going to be dropping off Brayshaw, during the
they
quarter.
stitched up Tuke Miller.
Well, that's exactly right. So Brayshaw, and if there's no Caleb Sarong, which unlikely at this stage that he'll come back in. Mundy might come back in, but suddenly, who's going to win that football through the middle of the ground for the Fremantle Dockers? Now, West Coast had to drop the tag today because they couldn't win any footy themselves.
Yeah.
But up against a side that's got a little bit of depth through the midfield, if Brayshaw gets cut out of it, then yes, a lot of questions will be asked on the other midfielders for the Fremantle Dockers.
I think once you see that Sarong and Fifey go out, if you think about the midfielders they've lost over the past few seasons, so Brad Hill they lost him, that's fine because they got the draft pick back. That's no problem. They lost Ed Langdon, and also Chera's gone. That was their midfield depth. So they're probably still a couple of years away from getting.
Well, that's why I think they're in no rush to play finals and no ruch to play top four and no rush to win flags.
And
because
Matty Johnson as well, I think, is their pick 19.
He's a good size too. Johnson, I saw a little bit of him. So they've still got a really high top 10 draft picks who aren't playing AFL football yet. So. I think they're still a little period away from the ultimate, but they've got enough with their small forwards that get busy, and then, of course, the cream back in, Fife and Mundy and that sort of stuff.
I think Tabernar and Lobb are going to be really important inside forward 50.
Well, Tabernar, you guarantee, I reckon.
A couple of goals from Tabs today. He presents, gives a really good contest, and
you guarantee he does that
as well. And you've got the small forwards to, cause damage inside there, which they've been doing quite well.
So we set Britt the challenge.
Yep.
Go downstairs, get in the Dockers' rooms, get us an interview nice and early.
Yep.
Don't get any of these people.
I don't want anyone else but the medalist. That's all I want.
Let's go downstairs with Bob Jane T. Martin and find out who Britt got.
Boys, you ask, I deliver. I've gone straight for the best. Lockie Schultz joins us down here now. Congratulations to you. Firstly, where's the medal? Why isn't it around your neck?
Thanks for it. I had to put it away. It's pretty special, so I'll put it straight in my bag.
Congratulations to you. You must be so proud of your individual performance as well as that of the boys, so dominant tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a really disappointing result here last week in front of our home crowd, and we really dissected that game, and we had a lot to improve on, and it really came back down to the contest and the basics, executing the basics. So we put a lot of work in this week, and we tried to swing it in our favour this week in the contest, and our midfielders got on top really early, and we were able to capitalise because of it.
Lockie, Xavier Ellis up here, mate. Thanks for joining us and congratulations on your medal, mate. I was just sort of trying to quickly find some information around one of your teammates in a really scary moment today, Darcy Tucker. I believe we saw him high-fiving a few people down in the rooms. Can you give us a quick update on your mate, Darcy Tucker?
Yeah, it was a very scary moment. I was actually on the bench, so I didn't see exactly what happened. There's a bit of chatter going around, but I think at the moment they've put it down to a concussion.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure the logistics behind it, but he's in really good spirits, and he's with us, and he's really positive and happy, and he looks healthy as ever. So I think obviously he's got to go through the protocols and whatnot now, but from what it looked like, it could have been a lot worse.
Mate, Andy Brayshaw after the game on Fox said, after last week, you wanted to get away from going down the line and try and find the open side, try and find the corridor. It was a dour game at times, but gee, when you found that open side and the small forwards like yourself getting out into the open side, very dangerous football. You must have loved seeing the ball movement from the defence forward.
Absolutely, yeah. That's our ball movement plan, like our game plan. So Last week when we were just going down the line all day, it was a pretty lonely place out there for small forwards. But to be able to swing it into our favour this week, we really got a lick of the ice cream when we played that way, and I think it showed.
Lockie, Andrew Embley, congratulations on your game. Can I ask, obviously, a few clubs were really keen to get hold of you over the summer. I know Hawthorn certainly one of those sides. Being a Victorian boy, how close were you to looking at those options?
Obviously, there was a little bit interest, as we saw, but it just came down to what I love, and I love Perth, and I love playing at Freo, and I love the boys here, and it was a pretty easy decision at the end of the day. Obviously, you got your manager and whatnot, so you look into all the options, but at the end of the day, I wasn't going anywhere ever.
Well, there's no surprise that they were watching you pretty closely over in the East, mate, because just your ability at the moment, and this has been going for a while, but just your work rate inside forward 50, you put pressure on, and you mentioned the lick of the ice cream, and I guess that's what's happening, not just yourself, but the other small forwards around that forward 50. You put the pressure on, and finally, you do get your reward.
Absolutely, yeah. We all base our game on that pressure and being a team first player. When it comes inside, we want to be the best front half team in the comp, so we just want to lock it in there and be relentless small forwards. So, everyone gets their turn at kicking a couple of goals every now and then. It could be Freddie next week, who knows? So when it's your turn, you take it, but you know that it could easily not be your turn, and you're just as happy with the result either way.
Mate, just talking off the back of Embers, one of those clubs that were interested in you, Hawthorn, one of the coaches or someone inside there described you as a very good player, tough and desperate. Is that how you want to be known as a footballer, tough and desperate? Because you definitely look like you play like someone everyone wants to play with.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a really nice compliment to hear. So I play with a lot of passion, and the desperate side of it probably shows out a little bit. It can get the worst of me at times, but it's my brand of football, and that's how I can help our team out, and that's my role. So I'll just keep playing that way.
Well, Lockie, thanks for joining us in Triple M Football. Congratulations on the medal and the big win here this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, boys.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, well played.
Thank you.
Super player.
You take that medal out with you too. Wear it out tonight into the hippie club. That's free.
Yeah, well, Michael Barlow used to certainly wear that medal a lot of times.
Don't shut up about it.
He's always talking about that, Michael.
Do you know what? He got subbed off at half time in a derby. This is true. Mick's told the story. I was playing near him in defence. He was half forward doing the graveyard shift. Anyway, he half-time couldn't get near it. Absolutely couldn't get near it. Ross Lyon came in and threw the red vest at him, pegged it at him, and then took it off him. And at half-time goes, righto, Mick, the pressure's on. You know the alternative. Da-da-da-da-da. Looks up on the board. Mick's starting on the bench. So he's giving a rev up, runs out after half-time, runs to the bench. And then I think it wasn't Peter Bell, but whoever was in place before that. So Mick gets up to have his first rotation after half-time. Then they give him the red vest. Couldn't get back on the ground.
Was that the worst rule ever introduced in AFL football, that vest? Oh mate, that was a horrible, horrible thing.
But I talk about the vest because I had a bucket load of them. What, they thought that the clubs were going to just sneak players back on the field? Like, it's not country F grade where players can play under different names. Anyway.
All right, the Dockers 55-point winners this evening, but we can't go home just yet because the people are waiting for the Triple M.
Oh, yes, okay.
All right. Embers, I'll do a credit.
Yep.
Which will give you a couple of seconds to write something down. Homeloans.com.au when it comes to the fairest home loans. They're the true MVP. 3, 2 and 1. Embers.
All right, let's go. Luke Shuey's just trying to call at the moment. What are you calling for, Luke? Andrew Brayshaw, going to give him one vote. Started slow. Nelson went to him early, but I thought his ability just to be able to work through the game was outstanding. And if he hadn't been tagged in that first half, he would have ended up with 50 disposals, 26 in the end. He was a very good player and never stopped trying. So we'll give him one vote. 2 votes to Shannon Hearn. He's certainly an outstanding player, been doing such good things for West Coast for so long, and just found plenty of the football across half-back, uses it always well. How many medals he won?
Shannon Hearn?
3?
3.
3 medals, yeah. So he was certainly didn't stop trying tonight, and he's was absolutely outstanding. So I'll give him a couple of votes, but 3 votes. We just spoke to him just then. Lockie Schultz, certainly just his work rate inside forward 50 today. Puts on pressure, he hunts, he's tough, he's hard, and he mentioned the lick of the ice cream. Well, when you do that work, you do get your turn, and he finished with a couple of goals and just thought he was an outstanding player and spoke very well as well.
He looks like and sounds like a bloke you'd love to play with and spend time with on field and off.
Yeah, well, even just, when he got up and the way you speak about the opposition as well, there's certainly a lot of respect there, and he was played very, very well, and it doesn't surprise me that clubs went really hard for him at the end of last year. No Jordan Clark, no. I like Jordan Clark as a player, but the person that gave him one vote is to the left of Sherrod Wellingham. I like Sherrod, but you are totally right. He's been over with Buddy for 5 days, so I think he still might be drunk. No, definitely don't think Jordan Clark deserved the vote today.
Oh, hang on.
Bit stiff.
What, do you reckon he deserved the vote?
I thought he was outstanding. I had to get Hearn in there. They lost by 90.
So the votes were Lockie Schultz with 8, Hearn with 4, Chapman with 3, Brayshaw and Clark with 1.
Maybe Chapman's the curveball as well when I think about it. Anyway, fantastic game of football. Look forward to seeing you all next week.
Triple MVP for homeloans.com.au, homeloans.com.au. When it comes to the fairest home loans, they are the true MVP, just like you, Xavier Ellis.
Tell you what, the wash-up's going to be interesting out of this. Yeah. Fremantle flying, and West Coast, goodness, where they're going to go.
Well done to you, Tommy, and great job to you, Baz. Well done.
Good job, Baz.
Great work, Baz.
Thanks for the feedback, Baz. That wraps us up here at Optus Stadium, the end of round 3. The Fremantle Dockers, far too good, 15-12, 102. The Eagles, 7-5, 47. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.